All right, we should be live. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing? It feels good to be back after a week off. Okay, let me see. Let me make sure the stream. All right, stream's going good. Who do we have first in the house in chat today? We had Craig Lilly. How am I feeling today? For the most part, my cough is gone. Compared to last week, it's way better. But I think I'm pretty much, fully recovered, minus lingering cough that you sometimes get when you get the cold or the flu. But no fever, energy's good. It's just still a little bit of phlegm and mucus buildup. But other than that, I'm doing good. For those of you guys who didn't know and didn't see the community message last week when I canceled the stream, I actually caught influenza A, which I think is the more common one that's going around, like pretty badly as of recent. So yeah, I caught that and I was just like dead. But yeah, I'm doing good now. Thanks for asking, Craig Lilly. What's up, Chris? Coalition Gaming Chris in the house. We got Staying 2007. We got KL130 as always. Scott Garden. Watched a few videos today. Looks like I made the right choice by getting the Intel Arc B570. The benchmarks are eye-opening. Not worth $750. They are saying is MSRP for a reference card. I think I saw some of the sources say that if it was $750, it wouldn't be that bad. But we'll take a look at the numbers. But we'll also look at the pricing that's available because they're listed on Newegg and Micro Center. We can check Best Buy as well. But yeah, the prices are being listed. So I believe they're available tomorrow. So kind of sucks how the way the embargo has been working as of recent. Like, the embargo is one day before, so you don't even have that much time to do your research and digest. Imagine being like a normal person with responsibilities and a job and a family and stuff like that. And you're trying to get one of these graphics cards, but you want to do your research first, so you got to watch everything in the span of like 24 hours before they launch and potentially get sold out instantly. So yeah, that's the the situation we've been in for the last couple of years now. They don't give you that much time to work with the information, so it's kind of like a sense of urgency. They want you to just be ready to open up your wallet, and we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait till next week's stream to reconvene to see what's going on with the 5070 Ti situation. Once it is available to buy tomorrow, let's see what the inventory and selling out situation looks like. Demented says the 4070 Ti Super Duper. Yes, that's referring to the fact that it is marginally better than a 4070 Ti Super, which, I mean, those aren't even really an option now unless you buy it used. But even in the used market, they're like, everything has shifted in a bad way. So yeah, if you're in the market for like a $600+ card, it kind of sucks right now because the prices are higher than what they would have been like just a few months ago. But we'll see. Nuki's Gaming Channel. Feels odd to be in here, lol. Why do you say that? I don't understand. We got Giant Robots. What up, what up? We got Hazard Me. What's up? Techie Tech. With the upgrade to the Nerd on a big budget. Thank you for the support, Techie Tech. But also, the comment said, alright guys, who's ready to buy a 5070 Ti in 2027? Yeah, 2 years from now, they'll probably be in the used market at decent prices. But we'll see in the coming weeks what it looks like. So, Design Silence. All new cards are trash. Good night. I don't know if I would say... That's kind of hyperbole, isn't it? By definition, trash to me would mean it's not even usable. But come on, let's be honest. These cards are still usable. We just don't like the prices. Hey, what's up, Human Sword? I'm doing good. How are you? What up, Man Stand? What up, X Redica or Zeretica? Hopefully I said that right. What up, Red Robot? Don't buy on launch day. If you don't buy on launch day, when are you supposed to buy? Yay, it's TI time. What up, Robert? Fix it. Need your help. What is the best small form factor CPU cooler? It depends on your case. A lot of people go AIOs with small form factor if the case supports it. But if you're talking about like a top down, like draft down style cooler, off the top of my head, I would need to take a look. But I know Scythe makes a very popular one. I forget the name off the top of my head. Scythe, Noctua, and I forget if Thermalright has one, but those are probably the top three that I would first look towards for low profile downward drafting coolers. Gaming is finished. I don't know what that means. What up, Indecline? These GPU prices isn't gonna make more people move to PC. If you want to go to PC, buy something that's like in the $300 market for like your first go. Like if I was going from console to PC, I would probably not just drop $2,000 on a system. I would probably drop closer to like $700-800, which means you're working in the ballpark of like $300 GPU territory. So that's like the ARC cards, the 6700 XTs, maybe the 3070 used, or 4060 Ti. Yeah. But a lot of people are going to argue people go to PC because they want the super high-end graphics and stuff. I'm like, I want to go to PC because of the whole PC experience with Steam and PC exclusive titles that you can't play on console and stuff like that. I don't necessarily care about PC gaming because of the like ability to play at 4K ultra super graphics compared to console. I do it for the PC gaming experience, not for the visual spectacle. So yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like plenty of people can still move to PC and use last gen cards, which are still decently priced. Stuff like you can buy an RTX 3080, which is still gonna blow the water out of, like, you know, compared to consoles, and you can get 3080s for like what, $400-350, depending on how good of a deal you can get. But if you're talking about new parts only, I mean, you can still get like a 7700 XT for around 400, which isn't that bad of a deal. So there's options. It's just people just want the highest end options, which is kind of, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary, but we'll talk about that more later. Thoughts on the Oculinks for mini PCs? You're talking about the connector for the external GPU stuff, right? I haven't really looked into that all that much. I've had the mini PC companies reach out to me to make videos on their stuff, but I haven't really looked into it, like with regards to what the like bandwidth limitations are and how high of a card you can get before you start running into bottlenecks with it. But yeah, not much thoughts, unfortunately. It sucks to make PC build guides. Now every GPU is overpriced. That's why you make it using used and budget range stuff. We'll take a look at the pricing of everything in a second here. Oh yeah, we also have to do an unboxing today. Don M, are you in the house? So Don is a viewer of the channel. Don has sent stuff for me to unbox on stream before. This time I bought his old graphics card. So we're gonna unbox this, put it in the test bench, and then once that's running the benchmark or just running like a stress test, then we'll get more into the discussion of the 5070 Ti. I've got all the like results and stuff pulled up, and we'll look at them together as well as the pricing. Right now we're just chilling for a moment while people get their water, use the restroom, get to the stream. Super and Ti sounds like fighting game moves. It sounds like in an anime when the anime character calls out their attacks beforehand. Like, I don't know. I think Demon Slayer is an example of it. Inuyasha, if I had to think back, like of some of the first anime I watched, Dragon Ball Z, they did some of the calling out as well, but I think like Inuyasha was pretty bad with it. And then more recently when I tried to watch Demon Slayer, I just cannot get into it. Anime where they have to call out every single special move attack that they're doing is so cringy to me. So that's why I couldn't get into Demon Slayer. Plus, I don't know, the art style for Demon Slayer and the fact that it's like dealing with kind of younger protagonists, I'm not a fan of that too much. Though I loved Attack on Titan, and they're probably around the same age, so I don't know. Maybe it's just the art style. But we're not going to talk that much about anime. I don't know how many people here even care about that. I just rewatched Cyberpunk Edge Runners though, because I started my actual playthrough of Cyberpunk finally, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. But let's see. Stock will be gone even faster this round. People are foaming at the mouth to pay 1K. Yeah, the pricing is looking. Newegg has some, but those are everything MSRP are probably gonna go like instantly. But anything else that's like a little bit higher, maybe like 800, 850, you probably would have a chance to get if you're willing to pay for an AIB that's like $50 to $100 more. Hey, what up, Damien Hogue? How's it going? Sorry, been gone the last few streams. No worries. My cat has been sick. Had to get a new car. It's all good. Just come to the stream when you can. We're here every single week, mostly, except for last week when I was sick, and then except when we have family emergencies. But we're here mostly every week, so glad to see you in the stream. Overall, the B, I'm guessing you're meaning 580. Yes, it has been well received. I have my B580 sitting in the back here somewhere. I'm waiting on one last part, and then I will be doing my build update, and then there will be a video for that. I'm super excited because I'll show you the case. I got some. Is this considered contraband? Is this considered illegal to have in the States now? But my new PC build is going to be in this case. I've had my eye on the CH160 for a while. Deepcool released this, was this just last year? Maybe it's been a year and a half now, but yeah, I'm going back to a mini ITX that's not a tower. This is going to be the new build, or my new build update. So the video on that is going to come probably in a few weeks after I get the last parts I need. But I'm very excited about this case because as you can see, there is a handle. So you can still buy these, by the way, even though I don't know if you can buy them on Amazon. So the thing is, I've seen Deepcool stuff still listed on Amazon. It just doesn't say Deepcool. They just use like generic PC terminology, like PC case and stuff like that. This one I know you can still get on AliExpress, but yeah, I'm excited for this build because my current case does not have a handle right now. It's the Corsair 2000D tower, and I'm excited to go back to a PC with the case handle. So yeah. In the USA, it's considered contraband. I think it's more of, it's not allowed to be sold, but if you can get your hands on one and you use it, I'm gonna make a video on it. So if the FBI got defunded, so never mind. If whoever wants to knock on my door because I have it, they can feel free to go ahead. So yeah, Amazon Basics case, exactly. Height doesn't matter, it's girth that's important. Okay. I did not see if Dawn is in the house, so I might have to just send him the link to the stream because alright, so we're gonna unbox this. Yes, there's no information on here that is like super secret that I cannot show. I've already taped off anything that's important. But yeah, so Mr. Don M last year sent me a box of goodies with like a GTX 950. If you guys remember that stream, he sent like a riser cable, wireless generic mouse, as well as a i7 6700, and then his leftover 11600K. So frequent viewer of the channel as well as donator, but this is not a donated part. We are going to be unboxing this, and this is a graphics card that he upgraded from and did not need anymore, and he didn't want to deal with selling it in his local area, so he asked if I was interested in buying it. So let's get this open. So that I have not paid him yet because he wanted to make sure that it got to me safely and that there was no problems before I sent him payment. So I will be doing that. And 235, that's just my private box number at my my business mailbox. So Yeah, let's get to opening this. Oh, Don, you are here again. Thank you for sending this out ahead of time. And oh my goodness. Wait, I actually did not remember you saying that it was a Founders Edition card in the email. Wait, you might have, and I think I might forget. Let me see. Let me look at this. Old EV. Oh no, you did say it was a Founders Edition. Okay, I just forgot because I have a bad memory. All right, so this is from Don, who is in the chat right now, who's selling me, which, yes, I remember now because I love Founders Edition cards. So I will not be selling this or using this in a build to sell. This is a card that I will keep because I like keeping Founders Edition cards. Alexander with the $2 super chat. 5090s only card melting. Are 5070s safe to buy? I would think 5070s should be safe to buy due to just overall lower power draw with any of the rated cables on the market. So I would say should be good. But all right. Oh man, look at this card. This thing is gorgeous. This thing is clean too. Man, the only thing about these Founders Edition cards is the connectors for this generation, which it should be in the box, which it is. So, but the issue is that if you lose this thing, you have to like buy a new one because they've already moved on from these connectors. Can we get a zoom? Oh, look at that. Autofocus so fast. But yeah, so these cards I think look awesome. The main downside is these connectors, which isn't, I mean, for me, this should be fine. But just in general, for people who are going to be using their cards more and disconnecting and connecting, I don't know if this has like a low connection or like rated connector count. Because if you guys have been following the news on the later or the more recent cards, their connectors, some of them are only rated for like double-digit connects and disconnects. Like they only designed it so that I think the count was 30 or something, 30 connections and disconnects. That's not a lot, but for most graphics cards that aren't changing hands, that's fine, right? How often are you connecting and disconnecting it? But for people who are testing and stuff, like for me, because I'm often throwing it into different builds and testing it, you come up to that limit pretty quickly. So yeah, wait, what card is that? This is a 3060 Ti. 30 connects does seem low, doesn't it? But that's what the number is on some of these cards. So yeah, but this is a 3060 Ti. I'm going to show it one more time before we get it into the system. So I'm sure there's not going to be any problems with it, but I'm just going to get it connected, get a test running, and then I can send Don his money. Don gave me a pretty sweet deal for this card. I bought 3060 Ti AIBs for as low as 200, but Don is selling this to me for 175, which for a Founders Edition card is pretty awesome. And I will keep this and cherish it. I'm not going to resell it or anything because I don't need to. I have other parts that I've obtained not from viewers that I can easily sell. So yeah, I hold these things, or I cherish them, especially when they're sent in by viewers. Okay, let me make sure everything is connected. And we should be good to go on the test bench. The screen should pop up any second. There it is. Boom. Founders Edition, gross. What are you talking about? Founders Edition is like, I've actually not heard many people say Founders Edition card gross. All right, so we've got an image. Let me check GPU-Z. Not that I think this card would be, you know, quote unquote fake or anything, but let's see. That would be very hard to fake a 3060 Ti that has its shrouding cooler on it. It needs a second to, because I had a 3060 in there previously, so it needs a second to detect it real quick because I just changed it out without doing any driver updates. But the NVIDIA drivers, okay, yep, for the 3060 works for the 3060 Ti, no problem. We're gonna get a superposition benchmark run. We'll run this at 1080p. We'll do 1440p extreme. Custom. We'll do 1440p to push this thing, and then we're gonna run it. Let me see if I can show this on the screen, if my droid cam will work. Okay, hopefully it's not laggy. So we've got the benchmark running. Let me turn on this light. But Dawn, I mean, everything's looking good so far. So there's the card. Oh, it's getting choppy. I don't know why it gets choppy over here. Sorry about the choppiness. I think it's because I need to add a deco puck to my Wi-Fi. Yeah, I need to improve my Wi-Fi in this corner of the house. But, all right. We've got that running. Oh my goodness, the sound. Founders is legit. Don't be a D1 hater. Let's see. Platinum says Founders gross. It's not gross. What did Techie Tech says? I'm still using a Zotac Mini 2060 in my mini PC at my girlfriend's house. It runs everything. Yeah, dude, you guys, I cannot wait to get the next video. So the next video is about this build right here. It's a very interesting build. I'll tell you guys the specs. It is an i5 6600K. We're talking Skylake Intel. And RX 480, not a 580, but a 480 8GB reference card. And yeah, I ran it through a full range of benchmarks. And I was even playing my own Cyberpunk save file while I was benchmarking it, you know, doing the NCPD jobs and stuff. And I was enjoying it just fine. We're talking 10-year-old CPU and what is it, 8-year-old GPU now? So, I don't know what people are complaining about when they need like the newest hardware. As I was benchmarking and testing all the games, I was enjoying thoroughly playing on literally 8 and 10-year-old hardware over there. So, why is this thing so loud? Where's the mute button? Where's the volume on this thing? Volume. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. Okay. So we've got that going. All right. But while we let that run, actually, it'll be done in a second here. So we'll just keep talking, and then we will get into the 5070 Ti talk. People don't know how to lower settings. I know, right? I was playing Cyberpunk at the preset low, which enables FSR 2.1. And it didn't look pretty, and it didn't look as good as compared to how I normally play it on my personal system, but it was playable. So, yeah, I don't know. Techie Tech gifted 5 Nerd on a Budget memberships. Thank you, Techie Tech. I appreciate that. And the people who got the gifted memberships, which is Coalition Gaming, Michael T, Axe Droptimus, Chad Miller, and Kale130 all got gifted memberships. So, thank you to Techie Tech for that. All right, we're done with the benchmark. There it is. Temperature, let's see. So yeah, GPU got up to max utilization. Max temp was 71 degrees, not bad for a very difficult to run 1440p extreme benchmark. And all the numbers look good. So, Don, I'm going to keep running this on the background in the game mode. But I will link up with you after the stream and send you the payment for this. So So let's see. Yeah, so let's get that set up. All right, so we got that good to go. I miss the days of EVGA 1060 ITX. 1000 series EVGA cards were some of the best looking cards ever. Yeah, I like the FE cards. Oh wait, let me make sure I set up my browser scene. Okay, we should be good to go here. Let me run the cinematic mode in the background while we're chilling. Okay, so 5070 Ti. Let's run a poll. We need to do more polls. But what are people's thoughts on buying a 57 or 5070 or 5070 Ti? Are you in the market for a 5070/5070 Ti at MSRP price, at MSRP? So that's assuming it's what, 750 and 550. Those are the two prices. So yes or no? Wait. Yes. Okay. Okay, we'll run this poll. I try to get more options because there's people have different circumstances. So are you in the market, assuming either 550 or 750 for the 5070 and 5070 Ti respectively? If those cards were available at that price, are you in the market for one? Yes or no, because you want a different card. Sorry, I had to cut it off because for the polls they don't let you, there's a character limit. But yeah, like, or no, but you're in the market for a different card for the same amount of money. You're not in the market for one of these cards because you're not in the market for like a $550+ card, or you're just not in the market for any GPU at all. So lots of different options. Just vote away. I'm just curious how many people are in the market for one, or in the market for one at around the same price range but not NVIDIA. I mean, over half the votes so far are people just aren't in the market for any GPU at all, which is a good situation to be in. Because, yeah, you don't have to worry about all this, like, scalper pricing, low stock, etc., etc. So, yeah. So let's start looking into some of the numbers, and I pulled up some resources, but let's take a look at first Tech Power Up, because they have this nice relative performance chart, which I like a lot. Tom's Hardware usually has one that's similar, but for some reason they haven't been updating it. I guess these new cards just came out like a couple of months ago, so they need to update these graphs so that you can see relative performance next to each other. But I did pull up the Tom's review, which will have geo-mean comparisons with other cards, so we can take a look at that. But if we look at Tech Power Up, they are finding the 5070 Ti is essentially a 4080, which a 4080 is kind of a weird card because it got, you know, the 4080 came out at $1,200, and then it got superseded by the 4080 Super at $1,000. But then the 4080 Supers, you couldn't even find those in stock for the last 6 months easily for $1,000. They were always going for like $1,100 to $1,200, which makes them less attractive. So 5070 Ti, if you can get it at MSRP, you are looking at 4080/4080 Super because they're like the same levels of performance. With you're talking within 1% of each other. Pretty big drop off once you go below 4080 levels, because the 3090 Ti and 7900 XT are within like 15-ish% of the 5070 Ti. Or if you were able to get a 7900 XTX, which here's the interesting part. So 7900 XTX, this card has 24 gigabytes of RAM. So that's one of the bigger upsides for it. But we've been seeing people posting on Reddit, or at least I have. I forget if I pulled up these posts in the last. But ever since the 5080 came out, people have been flocking towards AMD, boasting about their purchases on Reddit. Like, I jumped to Team Red, I'm anti-NVIDIA now, etc. That's what people have been posting. They have been buying these cards at $800, $850. These cards were as low as like $750 or $760 a couple of months ago. But since then, the prices have gone up. But if we're looking at the numbers here, relative performance to each other, let's just ignore VRAM for a second. You're looking at the same level of card, which I think plenty of people, if the price of the 7900 XTX went back down to $750, people would buy that up instantly. So for a similar performing card at $750, if the 7900 XTX has been getting so much praise and people are saying it's so good and such a value purchase, why is it that people are jumping on the hate bandwagon for the 5070 Ti? And I'm thinking you guys are going to say VRAM, but VRAM aside, we'll take a look at the numbers, right? In the reviewers' benchmarks and stuff. But for a $750 card, I guess, are we expecting 4K? Are you guys expecting 4K at $750? Or is that like a solid 1440p card? Let me end this poll and we'll start the new one. So yeah, like less than 10% of the people who voted are even looking for a 5070 or 5070 Ti. Oh, and then another 10% might be looking for spending that same amount of money on a different card, just not NVIDIA. But the majority of people are just not in the market for a card that expensive, or are just not in the market for a card at all. But, alright, we're starting a new poll. What are your expectations out of a $750 graphics card? 4K gaming, 1440p maxed out high FPS, 4K shoot, maxed out high FPS, 4K, no, 4K, we're just gonna make this simple, 1440p. Okay. Oh no. No. Are we still here? Crap. Chrome is crashing. You gotta be kidding me. We good? Okay, you're still here. For some reason my Chrome window with the with the live stream crashed. But we're okay, at least it did not stop. Let me here, let me get this poll started. Okay, so yeah, at $750, are you expecting 4K? Which 4K can encompass many things, but let's just say 4K in general. It's really hard to put a number on. It's definitely not going to be 4K maxed out high FPS. It's probably like 4K high settings high FPS, or 4K max settings like 60 FPS AAA titles. But for the most part, when you buy a $750 card, what is the main resolution you expect to be playing at is the question. Let me do this. Okay, we're still good there. So, I mean, 2/3 of the people are saying 1440p, which, honestly, 1440p max settings, high FPS, I don't think 16 gigs of RAM is really an issue. The thing about VRAM is, it's really hard to gauge what games require, because kind of like system memory, sometimes just having it will make it so that, like, the game will use it without any benefits, right? What's a game that does this? For example, like Diablo or some Diablo 4 was really known to be like system memory intensive. Just because you had 32 gigs in your system, it would just straight up load it up. But the performance difference while playing wasn't necessarily noticeable between 16 gigs and 32 gigs. I'm trying to think of, I mean, there's so many games that I've played, you know, at appropriate settings with 4 gigs of VRAM in older, when I test old hardware, and I'm playing them just fine. Like, there's not texture popping, there's not, what's it called? There's not like stuttering, there's not hitching. So if your expectation is 1440p, I don't know if 16 gigs is that much of a problem. Obviously you want more VRAM, but again, NVIDIA, like the 5070 Ti is going to excel in certain categories over the 7900 XTX and come with certain like features that just AMD doesn't have at all. Mostly the CUDA and RT cores, if you're doing anything beyond gaming. But we're mostly gamers here, so I don't know how much that really is relevant to the conversation. But let's take a look at what, not Tech Power Up, but let's see what Tom's Hardware found in their testing. Here we go. Rasterization gaming performance. Okay, so 16 games they did at 4K Ultra. They're finding the same things, very similar. And this is at 4K, which a third of you said that you expect the $750 card to be able to do that. But 2/3 of you said you only expect 1440p. 4K Ultra settings, assuming AAA titles, do they break it down? No, they just have it all grouped together. This is as VRAM intensive as you're gonna get. You're maxing out resolution. Your Ultra, I'm assuming, is pretty much max settings for games, if not close to it. 24 gigabyte VRAM card, 16 gigabyte card. You're within the, like, I mean, this is 2 to 3% difference. Let's go to 1440p. Same thing, 2% difference if you're looking at, you know, average FPS. At 1080p, it's like the same. I guess the VRAM difference, it doesn't matter. So essentially, the 5070 Ti, the easy way to look at it is it's a 7900 XTX, less VRAM with NVIDIA, you know, sprinklings into it. Let's go to ray tracing performance. Ray tracing performance, they also did 4K. Look at it compared to the 7900 XTX. I don't know how many people care about ray tracing. Let me look at the chat. Do you guys even care? You play Black Desert online on remaster, 60 FPS is a no for me. BDO, Black Desert? I enjoyed Black Desert so much. I played it quite a bit when it came out. What was that, 2014 or 15? Or even 16? But man, it is the grindiest Korean MMO. 3D Korean MMO. I guess there are probably other grindier ones that are like 2D and 2.5D. But Black Desert is so grindy. I wish they, maybe that's why I'm kind of looking forward to Crimson Desert. Because it might remove that grindy aspect of it. But with Black Desert Online, I feel like it's an optimization issue. That game can run really poorly even on some of the best systems I've seen. PvP? Are you a swiper though? Isn't Black Desert, is it pay to win? I've watched so many videos of it over the years as I was playing, and then I still follow it somewhat, but it's either a super grind fest or like pay to win, isn't it? But as an MMO enjoyer and as someone who played Black Desert quite a bit, I do like it. I wish, I guess Throne and Liberty would be like a pretty good replacement in terms of action combat, big open world, beautiful MMO. But we need more of those MMOs. Let's see. The easy way to look at it is the 5070 Ti is a hard pass. Garbage. You cannot call this garbage fire when people are willingly going to Newegg and are paying happily. You can't even. So here's refurbish. Where's the new cards? The cheapest 7900 XTX on Newegg, if you go through all the refurbished stuff, if you want one that's not used or refurbished, is $1,000. Let me see. AMD subreddit. I'm telling you, people have been posting this. I've been getting in my feed. Rapidly going out of stock. Recommendations 1 month after recently converted back to Team Red. I'm trying to look at the post that I was seeing. Yeah, maybe I need to look at the non-AMD subreddit. But people like to really go on here and virtue signal that they've like switched Team Red. Oh, someone had a terrible experience, but that was 7 months ago. Where are the new posts? It's alive, blah, 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 performance tainted. Oh my god, there's so many new posts about the 7900 XTX. But Reddit search is so bad. Just bought it. That's 1 year ago. I'm trying to look at where people put the prices here. Like how much were some of these people were boasting? Just bought a 7900 XTX Nitro. How much did you pay? They bought 1050. Wait, but they're in British pounds. So that's a different pricing compared to the US. But all I'm saying is if you want, let's check on Amazon pricing. People, I'm telling you, you cannot call the 7900 XTX an amazing value card and then call a 5070 Ti garbage. Even with that low amount of VRAM, because as we saw in 4K Ultra across 16 games, the performance was not impacted. Sure, you could say you're future-proofing, but I don't know if I really buy that. Again, games will reallocate like how, or they will, the way that if they're optimized well, they will run fine even if you have only 16 gigs of VRAM. But how much are these going for? 7900 XTX. Amazon is so bad. It's just like it doesn't even show up. Like, how are you showing me everything except for 7900 XTXs? I don't care if they're out of stock. Just show me the listings still, like they did on this one, which is not really no featured offers available, but you can get it for $1,100. So you have $750 and you want 7900 XTX levels of performance. You don't have a time machine because it was 3 months ago you could get it for $750. What do you do now with $750? And you want the best graphics card you can get. And you want 7900 XTX levels of performance. And you don't want used because people could have mined on them and did other stuff. What do you do? These early prices are not the real world. You're seeing pro gamers, reviewers, and scalpers pay these prices. It's not $750. Yeah, I mean, okay, let's look at pricing because people are saying it's not $750. We don't know what's going to happen. But I'm just going to assume $750 for now because Micro Center we have pulled up. Blame the idiots who just said just to wait. I know, right? I need to make a YouTube short about that because people who told you to wait screwed you over. Here's what Micro Center prices are looking like. You know, Micro Center, the bastion of good PC prices, the good guys in the PC world. $750, you can get a Asus Prime. This is a pretty good looking card. If it's in stock, we'll have to see. We're gonna revisit this next week, see what the price, the stock situation looks like. But then, boom, you jump up $150 to $900, $900, $910, $940, $970, $980, $980, $1,000. What? I guess if we're comparing it to the 7900 XTXs, which are now $1,000 because it's the same performance, this price, I mean, it's the same price as the 7900 XTX for the same performance level, right? less VRAM, but you get better ray tracing performance, tensor cores, you know, NVIDIA Studio, better AI capabilities. I don't know. Okay, let's go to, where's the Newegg though? Newegg is looking better. Newegg is showing 750 for the MSI Shadow. MSI Shadow OC is also 750, surprisingly. Usually these OC models are a little bit more. You've got the Windforce, you've got the Prime. Look at all these cards that are supposedly $750. We'll see if they can keep that. But I mean, some people I think are gonna get 5070 Ti for $750. Most people probably won't, but some people will. At that price, what are your thoughts on it? Notice the higher price. Well, they're not even on sale yet, so I don't even know what's going on here. Like, these are coming soon. I don't understand why some of them have prices, some of them don't. But yeah, no, you're right. These ones, the prices aren't being shown for whatever reason. I don't know like what this means in the Newegg system, but I am sure, so just like some people were able to get 5080s for MSRP, 5090s for MSRP, not many, but some people are going to be able to get the 5070 Ti's for that much. The pricing looks like NVIDIA hit the oh crap button because Asus tried to sneak the MSRP out for $900. Let's take a look at some more. So here's what YouTube looked like this morning, as of 9 hours ago when embargo lifted, right? So do not buy from Gamers Nexus. Fires, infinite dollars. So this one's, NVIDIA didn't want to, I haven't watched all these, by the way. I've only had the ability to skim through like the Gamers Nexus hardware unbox videos and then to look through the Toms and Tech Power Up. So I'm kind of like looking at all of this at the same time as you guys are. But for the most part, MSRP equal bullcrap from hardware unbox. 5070 Ti might not be enough, so this is kind of a more interesting spin on it compared to all the negative ones. Pause hardware with the red background, a warning. Jay's 2 cents with the palm to face palm, forehead palm, whatever. So the reviews aren't looking too hot. Here's a pretty neutral one from Worms Gaming. Level 1 text, Wendo. Man, Wendo does some good work. But 9 hours. See, that's the issue about releasing reviews on embargo days. If you're not like the biggest people, you know, raking in the views, I think Wendo does great work. Less than 10,000 views in 10 hours almost. That is not reflective of his level of work at all. Worms got pretty decent views. Who else? Yeah, here's PC Centric. Usually does build videos. He doesn't really do benchmarks, but 10,000 views. So here's Tech Testers, also does great work. 8,000 views. Man, getting review samples when you're not like the gigantic channels, you know how much work goes into benchmarking? I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. Appreciate the people putting in the work to benchmark anything, right? Because, have you guys played games recently? Every single game requires shader compilation now. And when you switch graphics cards or switch drivers at all, which all these testers, when you test games, you have to recompile shaders. As a normal person, when you're compiling, it's whatever, right? Like, oh, you're only playing 1 or 2 games at a given time. I just freaking went through so many shader recompilations for this system, which has a 6600K in it, which is slow as balls, on an RX 480. I spent, I swear, like 8 hours compiling shaders. Like The Last of Us, Call of Duty, Fortnite, every freaking game these days requires compiling shaders when you change the graphics card or drivers out. So when Hardware Unbox does testing, which encompasses like 20 graphics cards, and they're testing all these games that have shader compilation. Just be thankful that they sat through and did all of that for you guys, because it sucks major balls. Call of Duty is like the worst. Whoever designed the Call of Duty UI, I want to choke them in a non-lethal way. The Call of Duty UI on Steam is the worst way to get into your video game I have ever experienced. I want to slap and punch the crap out of whoever thought it was a good idea to combine every Call of Duty game into one launcher that is slow as balls, and then when you want to go to your specific Call of Duty game, it has to exit out and relaunch the actual game you want to play. Like, oh my god. Every time I have to test Call of Duty, I'm ready to beat somebody down. Like, holy crap. Yeah. I'm just, it gets me angry. But that's besides the point. I'm sorry, I went on a tangent. Appreciate your reviewers, because so much of reviewing is literally staring at paint dry. You're either waiting for shaders to compile, or you're literally watching the benchmark run just do its thing. Multiply that by multiple runs, multiply that by 20 graphics cards or wherever the heck they do. My goodness. Oh, they pulled a Minecraft with Call of Duty? What do you mean? Is that how Minecraft is launched? Like, I'm so close to stopping doing Call of Duty benchmarks, because not only shader compilations suck, I just can't afford to buy. I don't play Call of Duty, I just benchmark it. I cannot afford to spend 60 or 70 bucks every single year on this garbage game that they keep on putting out every single year, instead of live servicing it like they should, milking players of all their money every single year for the same game with a new skin slapped on top of it that's like 100 gigs plus for a garbage game. I hate Call of Duty. I'm saying it now. If you guys love Call of Duty out there, I don't know why you guys like a garbage game. I'm saying it. Call of Duty is such garbage. Anyways, sorry for the rant. We don't talk about that kind of stuff all the time. It was just this recent, like, me doing. Oh man, I was pulling my hair out trying to finish the benchmarks for this system sitting behind me here, and Call of Duty was my breaking point. Call of Duty is for NPCs confirmed. I'm glad you guys agree. Call of Duty was goated. I mean, I got really into Call of Duty on Modern Warfare, which it was Call of Duty 4 back in like 2007. Like, I don't know. Like, them releasing one every year now is so. I never played Call of Duty. I don't play Call of Duty. I'm done with COD 2. Thank you. Okay, people are rallying with me here. Law, it really is garbage game. Call of Duty runs the same every time. Anyways, Call of Duty just sucks. Call of Duty is so annoying because the indicator for shaders is tiny. It is tiny, and it freezes at like whatever percent. So much. Like, Jesus. I believe they did it to troll gamers. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop Call of Duty benchmarks. It's a waste of money, and it's a waste of my time. I feel like you get a good enough representation with all the other games I test anyways. Like, so okay, Call of Duty done for. Thank you. You guys agree with me. I get that The Last of Us might be one of those good games to test hardware, but hardly anyone's actually playing it, not even at launch. Yeah, I do The Last of Us testing because it's very demanding. It is so annoying though, because it does also have shader compilation that take forever. I think it took 40 to 50 minutes on this system because it has a crap CPU. The thing is, what games should I test? I try to test really difficult hardware, even on old or difficult games on old hardware, because we know everything can run Counter-Strike 2, Valorant, League of Legends, freaking Skyrim, The Witcher 3 from 2015. I like pushing games and seeing how capable they are, like modern, difficult to run games. That's why I do The Last of Us, even though I don't actually play it. I only play like a handful of the games that I test. I test them mostly because of, showing the capabilities of the hardware. But yeah, like, what games from my benchmarking suite do I need to add to it? I need to find games that don't have shader compilation. But it's getting so tough to do. Forza Horizon 5, they don't call it shader compilation, but there's always that loading that you have to do before you get into the game. Halo doesn't call it shader compilation, but if it's the first time you're doing it with the hardware, there's that long loading screen you have to wait to get into the game. I'm telling you, even when games aren't telling you they're compiling shaders, they are compiling shaders. It's getting so bad. MMO player, I can relate. Yeah, I did test World of Warcraft retail on this system. I need to add World of Warcraft. I need to come up with a benchmarking run for it though, because I don't pay for the subscription anymore, so I can't play a character above level 20. So I need to come up with a level 20 and below character benchmark that I could do for WoW, so that I can test it decently. But yeah, FF14, that has a built-in benchmark, but FF14 is so... I don't know. FF14 is based on an engine that is like pretty old. The graphics aren't that great. And I wouldn't mind. I think Gamers Nexus does FF14 benching quite a bit, but not. You want to talk about games that people don't play really? I don't know. Adding MMOs to the mix, I don't think that's the answer. So Marvel Rivals, does that have shader compilations? I've actually never touched Marvel Rivals. It is what's hot on the streets right now, but the thing about testing multiplayer games is that one, like, you gotta play through the whole match, which it's very like all over the place. If they had like some kind of map against bots and AIs or just a training map, that could be viable. But that's kind of why I hate testing Valorant and things like that, because you can't get replica runs back to back. Like that's why when I did Apex Legends, I always did the training center because I could do multiple runs. Rivals, I think that's shaders compilations, but it's not that bad. Oh, see, we're talking about shader compilations every single game. Okay, shader compilation rant over, but I mean 5070 Ti, I wanted to go into, okay, let's look at hardware and box numbers, and then we can move on to other things aside from graphics cards that people won't be able to buy. But 4K performance. Here's hardware unboxed. 16 game average. I always like their charts because they do have a lot of other cards as reference. So they find the 5070 Ti very, I mean, it's beating, this is again 4K. I don't know what the settings are, but they usually test, I think, at pretty high settings. It's beating out the... so they get different results here. It is beating out the 4070 Ti Super, which is... I mean, you couldn't even find one for $750 not too long ago. But there's 79... what is that? That's like 20% different. From 70 to 84, that is like 20%. So... you have Tom's and Tech Power Up having the 5070 Ti on par with the 7900 XTX at 4K, like max settings. Hardware Unboxed is finding it to be 20% slower. Let's go to 1440p. At 1440p, 130 versus 140. Okay, that's like 8% or something. So single digit percent differences. Did they do 1080p? 1080p, you have them almost neck and neck within like a few percent. So hardware unboxed, they test, let me see, Marvel Rivals, Stalker 2. Yeah, see, like, we're talking about like what games people even care about in benchmarks. Do you think people care about The Last of Us or Stalker 2 more? Like, there's always going to be games where people just don't care about. You sometimes just have to choose games when you benchmark that push the hardware to its limitations. Counter-Strike 2, which is kind of an interesting one because it's not that hard to run. Delta Force, in this game, like, considered dead now. Jedi Survivor, A Plague Tale Requiem. So yeah, like, I don't think me and Hardware Unboxed, the games that we test, like, I test Cyberpunk every single time, but we have very different, yeah, Dragon Age, Dying Light 2, War Thunder, interesting. Spider-Man, I don't test Spider-Man, I test Miles Morales, which is similar enough of a game. But yeah, so I kind of don't want to change some of my games up because I am testing games that some reviewers don't even have at all. And it's good to have, oh crap, it's good to have like a wide variety, right? Oops, stop. Sorry. I gotta go turn on the sous vide real quick. I'm making steaks for dinner, so let me go do that. Let me know if you guys can still hear me as I'm in the kitchen upstairs. I'm walking towards the fridge now, and I got the sous vide in the pot. I have it set to 130. Go. Alright, sous vide's on. The sous vide is on. So I set it to 130 because that's medium rare on the internal. And then when I sear it, it goes to like 135 for medium, which is my preferred cook on a steak. So I get it to within like 5 degrees so that when I sear it, then you get a little bit of heat from that. And then you have a perfect medium steak. But yeah, cooking on a budget stream now. The 7900 XTX is still an amazing card. You don't need to upgrade. What did somebody ask about upgrading? Let's see, Retro Vet. Oh, $5 super chat. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Retro Vet 357. Don't know. I'm debating going to Micro Center for a 5080. Might wait for the 9070 XT reviews currently on the. You have a 90. You have the highest end card from AMD from last generation. I don't think you need to upgrade. You got it for $750 as well, which is the same price as what the 5070 Ti is gonna be. Not really, but then eventually it probably will be. Once, I mean, this card, if you're gonna go by the reviewers, is a horrible card that you should not buy. But people are gonna buy it. I think people, not just dumb sheep, which I think a lot of people would like assume people buying Nvidia's cards right now are, but I think people are watching the reviews, they're seeing the performance versus last gen, and they're happy with the price and they're willing to pay it. I don't think these cards are as garbage as everyone thinks they are, because the availability of last gen stuff and now AMD's great cards are $1,000. So that's just making these cards even better value. I'm not saying these are like amazing value. They're enough. I'm just saying they're enough value for people to look at the numbers and say, I would still want to buy that card, even if it's a $1,200 5080 or whatever. So I don't know. Let's see. The no cooking stream. I think that would be fun. I wonder how many viewers that's gonna pull in if I ever did a cooking stream. Streams have been pretty healthy in recent weeks. You know, we've been easily averaging over 100, closer to like 150, sometimes close to 200, depending on the topic. But yeah, a cooking stream, would that just completely break the channel and like transcend those numbers, or do horrible? We'll never know. Yeah, so I would say Retrovet, just, you have a card that so many people would like be happy to buy at $750. I would say keep it. Yeah, you're in no rush. The 7900 XTX, as we saw in the other week when we pulled up the video, it kind of like kills it at 4K pretty easily. So like, what do you need more out of a card that you're looking to go and spend $1,000+ on a 5080? I mean, and it's not even probably going to be there. You're trying to go to Micro Center for a 5080. Are you planning on like wasting your whole day hoping for shipment? Because as of this morning, I was still seeing Micro Center posts. Here, we can pull up the thing. So if you guys haven't followed the Micro Center subreddit, it is an awesome subreddit. There's been so much drama as of recent. Okay, so some 15 days. This person had to show up for 15 days to finally get a 5090. Man, 15 days? Don't you have a job? Let's see. Lines outside the Minneapolis store. Some Everest or something like that. Army retired with nothing to do. Still though, unless you really like standing around at a store hoping to be able to pay $1,200 for a card that is gonna be, I mean, let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the numbers. The 7900, let's look at 4K average. The 7900 XTX versus the 5080. I mean, 84 to 91, that's less than a 10%. That's like 9% performance difference. If you look at 1440p, 140, 147, that's 5% difference in performance. You spent $750 for that card. If you get a 5080, you are going to be, depending on what settings and games and, you know, resolution you play at, you will be probably single-digit performance difference between the cards, and you're going to be paying closer to $1,200. Is that worth the $400 to $500 premium? Not in my opinion. Even if you're an Army vet, getting retirement money, and have all the time in the world. So I would say stick with your card, and only when your card is annoying the crap out of you, that it's not performing well in all the games that you're playing, should you even consider getting a new card. But there's not much room for you to grow from a 7900 XTX. If you have a 7900 XTX, like you go 5090, 5080, 4080 Super, and we don't even know if AMD's 9070 XT is going to be able to even really touch this, and how much it's going to come out at. So, yeah, like, just, you know, enjoy your card if you have a 7900 XTX right now. But let's keep on taking a look. Scalpers trying to act like they're not scalping. Oh, okay. This is one that I wanted to take a look at with you guys. I posted this in the stream submissions. This is very interesting. Oh, it got removed. Why did the moderators remove this? Oh my goodness. I need to find this video. No, this is worth talking about. Let me see if I can find the video. Crap. Can I go internet? Oh, whoops, not that. Time Machine probably is not going to pick it up. Yeah, it's too niche. Let me see. Okay. So, dang it. It was a picture of a guy. Ah. Let me see if I can find it on... Okay. Might have been... Yeah, it was a picture of the dude. Okay, so what it was it was just a picture of a guy standing at the door of a Micro Center. So the title reads, Micro Center in Tustin. This guy tried to cut a line of 50 people and pissed everybody off. Now, initially, I wish I still had the picture because it's just some dude in a, like, I don't know, he just looked like a nerd. But the issue with this is, if you guys didn't know, Micro Center does not have a line enforcement policy. Why? Because they don't want to be responsible for whatever happens during these crazy GPU launches and releases, right? They don't want to do a line, and then if people either don't follow the rules, they try to cut, do all that stuff, they don't want to be on the hook for it. So Micro Center, technically, the rules state you are not allowed to line up. But people do it anyways, right? People don't really care about the rules. You're not supposed to line up outside of Micro Center. But as you can see from, if you look at these Micro Center posts, there's always like a bunch of people actually waiting in line. Even 2 weeks after release, people are still going to wait in line in Micro Center. If I can't find the pictures of it because it looks like people are posting less and less of it this week or in the recent weeks. They're still posting that they are sold out on these cards. So definitely Retrovet, don't wait. But so this guy did what Micro Center is asking of them, saying, you should just show up, and if we have the cards, you buy it, but don't form lines and all that kind of stuff. So my question to you guys is, who is in the right here? A guy who shows up to Micro Center looking to buy a card and not wait in line because that's the official rules from Micro Center themselves, or the people who have been waiting in line since, I don't know, day what, likely scalpers with no lives or jobs, or some people like Retro Army Vet, which is fine if, you know, you are there to buy a card for yourself. But it has been shown time and time again that a lot of these people who are just camping out at Micro Center to this day, 2 weeks after release, that they are people who are instantly scalping these cards. So who's in the right and who's in the wrong here? Dude who just gets to Micro Center looking to buy a card without waiting in line for days? Or the people who have set up shop outside of Micro Center, even though it's technically against the rules and is not enforced? Is he right? Yes. Is he an asshole? Also yes, says Chris. When I first read this, especially with the guy's smug face on his look in the picture, I was instantly F that guy. But then as I read through the comments, I started to realize, like, this guy might not be in the wrong. This guy is basically solving the problem. If anyone touches him in any shape or form, he's going to call the police. It's the only thing I was waiting to happen. Who is eventually going to just cut the line and not give a crap? If someone's literally going to assault the guy or potentially do harm to them over a GPU, we're going to find out. All right, let me see some of these other comments. He was wearing a P-coat, apparently. So, yeah, he had a look that was easily, like, hateable, and, like, people thought he had a punchable face. That smug look, oh, man, this makes my blood boil. Again, initially, I was against this person until I saw some of the actual comments. He needs a haircut. Yeah, people are just attacking him for his looks. But what I'm saying is, why do people line up at Micro Center? It seems freaking, whatever. Micro Center should absolutely get involved here. If there's a physical altercation, they stand to get sued. If it's on their property, I don't know the legalities of it. Make no mistake, it takes the wrong person being there. Yeah, someone could come there with like a knife or a gun and you could have a bad time. So, honestly, Micro Center used to do a raffle thing back during the pandemic where you would go, they would give you like this piece of paper with a QR code, and then they would do a random drawing if you could win a thing. Kind of like the Newegg Shuffle. What the hell are these companies thinking? They've done this before in the past, and they're just like not implementing it now. Does Micro Center want people to just stand outside in the cold, in line waiting, wasting their lives away? I guess that's on the person's responsibility. But I don't know. Something about, it's okay to go on launch day, in my opinion, whatever. It's hype. It's exciting. 2 weeks after the fact, if you're still waiting in line and you haven't moved, barring some people like Retrovet in the chat, don't, you know, if you're retired or if you're currently jobless, though other people would probably argue that you should probably be looking for a job instead of waiting at Microsoft or a graphics card. I don't know. Something inside me just feels like the majority of people who are constantly waiting in line in Micro Center, especially if they're scalping, they're just piece of shit people. That's just it. I know there are some legit fine people who are waiting in line. It's something inside of me just feels like the majority of people, 2 weeks after the fact, constantly lining up at Micro Center, they're just like the worst people that, like, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? Sadly, people have been killed over less. That is true. People have been killed over less than thousands of dollars worth of graphics card. They have been killed over like $300 TVs at Walmart during Black Friday probably. People clearly have nothing better to do and too much money. Well, it's not about the too much money. Some people are probably going in debt, but then once they scalp the cards, they make their money back and then some, right? Waiting in line is just silly. Just wait a couple weeks and for the benchmarks. Well, see, we're getting into the couple of weeks territory and the cards are still not available. People are thinking Chinese New Year is going to alleviate that. There's actually been posts about 5090s. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. There was someone, oh, here we go. So here's Tom's guide. Let's see if I can find it. Finally, 5090 leak points to stupidly high stock coming next month. So here's the thing, I don't believe this leak. Did we look at this? No, this would have been 2 weeks ago. We did not see this. But there are people who supposedly have insider information saying that the supply of 5080s and 5090s, because as you can see, they're still sold out right now. Micro Centers are still posting that they don't have any for the day. That there's supposed to be a high amount of stock coming soon from known leakers. I don't believe it. Something inside me just does not believe that we're gonna just 180 in this, a few weeks. There's no way. I'm calling it right now, and I will, when it happens, on the whatever next stream that is, call me out if I'm wrong. But a month from now, no, I'm not seeing this happen. People are already fighting and killing each other for eggs. Yeah, I know, dude. We already talked about the eggs in the previous stream. I'm out of eggs. We bought, like 2 weeks ago, we bought 2 24 packs from Costco for $10 each. We're out already. So I need to wake up and go to Costco tomorrow, and hopefully there's eggs. I need to go at like opening. So I don't believe it. I've seen people say September. Yeah, that's the thing. And that kind of pisses me off. You don't have to have any information. You could just speculate, make a stupid video about it, and then get like tons of views. There are people literally making videos every other day about RTX 50 series and AMD news they're saying the same thing every day, and viewers are just eating that crap up. Like, let me see if there's any videos on that. Okay, so Gamer Mail got a 5070 Ti, it looks like, maybe. Leaks, AMD. Oh, so he hasn't talked about the NVIDIA stuff for a while. He's just been talking about the same AMD things over and over. And he's killing it. Why am I over here spending hours, days working on a video when I could just pump out news videos and get hundreds of thousands of views? You guys, I think it's getting close to the point where I might have to become a tech news channel, because the amount of work versus the views you get is just crazy. You could pump these out in less than a day and do literally zero hands-on work, and people will shower you with hundreds of thousands of views. And you don't even have to be right about the information. Like, why even do hands-on hardware videos anymore is my question. No, I won't make a second channel. I would kill this current type of content and go straightly all the news, because it's not even worth putting together builds anymore for minute amount of views in comparison to this kind of stuff. It's crazy. Have you guys noticed the shift in the YouTube tech space? Barring like some of the bigger channels, right, who still actually do work and like testing and reviews and stuff like that, the tech news channels have taken off, and they're able to pump out videos way quicker than anybody who's actually building systems, testing hardware, and doing stuff. It's just like such an easier avenue to go down that I've been really considering it, just because it makes no sense to keep on doing what I'm doing and get like abysmal views. Rumors on a budget. Humanity has got... Yeah, YouTube Shorts, I feel like it's one of the worst things to happen to the platform. It's just people stealing each other's content now, reposting it with stupid AI voices, and it's just like this kind of stuff. Keep the LAN party videos though. No, that's like the worst performance to time ratio. Nerd tech tips, yeah. You need to hate China New Year vacation. I don't think that's the main cause of the shortage, but we'll see. They get views for now, but they don't do too much once all the cards are out. Are you kidding me? This stuff, even when there's no cards, dude, these channels are speculating to like the RTX 80 series cards. Have you seen some of the ridiculous speculation some of these channels put out? They are like speculating 3 generations ahead. I'm telling you, they're able to pull stuff from the corners of their ass. It's so ridiculous. But I mean, that's just the general trend that's going down. It does not, you're not rewarded for the amount of effort you put in for a lot of mid-sized channels these days. Like you got people like, I don't know, like Toasty Bros and like the mid-sized channels who are actually like doing hands-on things instead of just news stuff, and you're just getting a fraction of the views. My stuff has just been performing like crap lately, so yeah, I think I just have to make a change. It's gonna be a lot easier, just regurgitated stuff, but it pulls in the views and makes the money, so. This is the tech video equivalent of starting an OnlyFans. Yes, you made money, but you had to sink into the abyss for it. Lol. Just release your LAN videos as million shorts. I don't know if people would care about the LAN videos in shorts. Plus, I need a shorts editor who like knows what they're doing. I've had offers, but the onboarding process is pretty hard. Like, I have expectations for like the quality of shorts, and I've worked with some shorts editors before that are just not at the like level of quality that I'm looking for. So if you guys are interested, these streams, we talk about so many topics. All my streams could be made into so many shorts, but I just need someone to be able to cut the shorts, and I'll pay for per short. It shouldn't even be that much to do. Like, imagine if I paid like $10 per short and it took you like 20 minutes to do, and you got it tax free. That would be pretty good money, especially if you're in like a non-first world country. But yeah, I need to look for a shorts editor, because I do so many streams that have like hours worth of content that would be perfect for shorts. Use AI for shorts? Are you kidding me? Have you seen actual AI chopping it down videos? It's bad. It's horrible. AI is also one of the worst things that has happened to content creation. Like, you can just go to YouTube right now. You can go to YouTube Shorts.
Watch the bank.
What the heck is this crap? Where?
This female officer was
You see this video?
challenged to a race by this man, but she pulled a
This is somebody else's video that this channel just kind of stole,
funny trick to win.
and then added this stupid voice on top of it. You know these people don't own this video, and they've got 630k subs, and you know, 86 million views. Like, all of these videos, I guarantee, are stolen. This channel were not the creators of these videos. 86 million views, 64 million views. This is what YouTube and content creation has become. There's so much incentive just to steal people's content and make these viral clips and videos and grow our channels to the, you know, 500,000 subs, not doing any actual original content. This is the death of actual content creators on YouTube. That is really a brain rot. Yeah, the whole platform is becoming brain rot as of recent. Haven't you guys noticed? And the thing is, we participate in it. I get caught up in watching this garbage too. It just pops up on my feed. I'm like, oh, what's that about? And then I realize after watching it, this was just stolen content that someone else actually recorded, and then somehow this person got a hold of it, chopped it up, and then just posted. But I am guilty of consuming this crap too, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know. I don't watch shorts unless they're from people I already follow. Yeah, that's not the majority of people though. It is interesting times. The thing is, I think in the next few years, some of your favorite OG content creators are gonna fall by the wayside and just quit doing YouTube, because unless you're like the lucky few who have made it and are consistently still able to pull in views and grow your channel, there's no way that it's worth like investing your time into doing anymore. This channel itself is starting to kind of get to that point where sometimes I question, like, why am I even making some of these videos anymore? Like, the amount of time it takes to make a video and test hardware and like to release like my latest build video is doing so badly. I kind of question like, let's see, not that video. I couldn't even pull 10K views on a $750 budget build video with modern day components. The video's been out for 2 weeks. It couldn't even pull in 10K views. Like, why am I even still making content on this platform or making content at all? The streams, they don't pull in any money. Like these streams, you know, we get hundreds of viewers. We do get super chats and stuff like that. But overall, it doesn't pull in like much money at all. So the amount of time that I invest into YouTube, it's not worth it as of recent. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I could become one of those news channels. And you know the tech news channels, they're just stealing information from like Tom's Hardware and other like people. They're not actually breaking any of this news themselves. All these channels that are reporting, they're reporting work that's done by other people and then making a video on it. So, yeah, like, do I do that? Which is essentially, I feel like would be selling my soul. Or do I just quit YouTube as a whole? AI spam is taking over, or commentary and reactions of other content creators. I might just go full like dark nobe and just start reacting and calling out other people and just start like being more drama. Like just every single time they release one of these stupid videos with speculation, just pick it apart and call it out. And look at, yeah, like it's a pretty sad state. Content creation is not what it used to be, that's for sure. Just attack LTT, it worked for GN. Nah, see, I wouldn't attack LTT. I would attack channels that actually deserve it. But we'll see. Start a creator war, Danny Daily Drama, let's go. Weekly Nobe News, you have to wear a tie though. Yeah. I do though, thank you guys all for continuing to show up to the videos and the streams though. Because I know I do have like a dedicated, you know, follower and base that, you know, there's so many names that I see here on the channel that you guys just showing, you know, week after week, month after month, year after year even. So, the most important thing is being consistent. The thing about being consistent is you gotta lower like the quality so much. That if I could get shorts out more consistently, that would help because at least people would see my face in shorts every single day. But even YouTube editing shorts isn't super easy, especially when, like, for me, I do everything else on the channel. So if I could have a dedicated person who knows the content, who could cut down streams and videos into shorts with minimal direction from me, and I could pay them, that would be the ideal thing, so that I could at least be releasing a shorts every single day. But I have not found a person yet. I know Nemus Tech has been very interested, but we need to work on the quality a bit if I'm going to bring on board Nemus. If you're in the chat right now, Nemus. I know you've been sending the emails interested, but we got to get, you know, the shorts to a certain level before we start doing it. Content Cop Tech Edition. Oh man, that would be... doing a Content Cop, at least one of them would be pretty fun. The thing is, people are going to probably call me out for being a hater. But is it really being a hater if what you're calling out is like true and you have the facts and receipts? LTT deserves it, in my opinion, being called out. I don't think so. I don't understand the LTT hate train. Just because they're like the biggest PC hardware channel, I get why they have the hate, but when you look down to the core of it, like all the talking points that people have for the hate, they probably got it from the Gamers Nexus videos or the Lewis Rossman one. But when you really look into it, I don't think they what's it called? They hold their own weight, like, at all. And I'm not even that big. I don't watch LTT content for the most part. I'm not really interested in a lot of stuff they do. I watch more like Hardware Unboxed Gamers Nexus because I'm like interested in the hardware stuff, not random tech goofiness. And even as that, like I would say Linus's content isn't as bad as people make it out to be. When we just looked at a pure rumor slop channel with AI thumbnails, I don't see a reason to hate on LTT. That's a good point. There's so... I wouldn't say there's so many, but there's a lot of rumor mill channels. Which, like, do you guys watch that stuff? I don't know if my audience is the type of people to watch that every single day when a video like that drops, right? Like, let's go back to it. Let's look at it again. Like, if we look at the actual... So 2 days ago, 9070 date, pricing just leaked. 9070XT gets official specs and date. AMD's releasing a faster 9000 series GPU. It's so cheap it hurts AMD GPUs. AMD just released a new GPU out of nowhere. Like, in the last 2 days ago, 5 days ago, 7 days ago. It's almost every other day, if not every single day. But then, it's funny. When they do these rumor videos, look at the views. It's crazy. When they do an actual video with what looks to be the actual GPU in hand, look at the comparison. And this is going to cap out. Like, this isn't going to get into the hundreds of thousands like some of these other videos. This is what people want to watch, apparently. People just want to watch rumors about stuff that's not even out, that once it comes out, they probably either can't get their hands on or can't afford, but they just consume it like crazy. They just eat this stuff up. Only rumor channel worth the crap is Moore's Law is dead. Moore's Law is dead. See, the crazy thing is, so Moore's Law is dead, I remember being one of the rumor let's look at Moore's Law is dead, because the thing is, even Moore's Law is dead, I feel like kind of fell by the wayside a bit. Yeah, look at this. So, Moore's Law is dead. The views are not as great as GamerMeld. But, Moore's Law is dead often has people on his channel. Like, he is actually talking to the leakers. He is talking to people in the industry. And for some reason, it doesn't get as many views as AI thumbnail slop. Like, Moore's Law is dead, I would say, in terms of, like, the rumor mill channels, it's one of the ones that's been doing it as extensively and for as long as, you know, they have these types of channels has been popular. I would say Moore's Law is dead is one of the OGs. You know, like, he even sits down with other big channels and stuff. So, the fact that even his growth has slowed down kind of noticeably compared to the other channels in the same field, I think it's kind of unfortunate because of the rumor mill channels. Like you said, I think Moore's Law is dead is one of the best ones. Do subs of those channels just get Men in Black mind wiped after each video? How do they keep coming back to listen to Sin? I don't know. Honestly, it's an enigma. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out myself. But as viewers reward these types of channels more, you're gonna see. I just thought of a YouTube channel that I haven't heard in a long time. You guys remember Tech Deals? I've collabed with Tech Deals a long time ago. I just realized, like, Tech Deals just stopped making videos. Their last videos were like 9-10 months ago. This is the direction I think Tech YouTube, for channels that, you know, for the most part dealt with hardware and doing actual making content, like, and not just slop rumor stuff. It just, you can't survive in the current landscape of, you know, YouTube Shorts taking over everything and rumor mill AI created stuff. Yeah, Tech Deals is a channel that they came into my mind recently, and I was like, what happened to them? I think Joker Productions too. Like, there's so many tech channels that I could pull up. Like Joker Productions, also, you know, a channel that did hardware related stuff, hasn't made a video for over a year, and in the later stages of his channel was kind of like struggling to get views. But there's so many Tech of Tomorrow. I have a fear that one day my channel is going to... Tech of Tomorrow still makes content, but he has over 500,000 subs, but people just aren't watching his content anymore. So I think this is just the natural life cycle of a lot of YouTube channels. You've been around for long enough, and then for some reason people stop watching you do actual stuff, and they kind of gravitate towards whatever the hell this stuff is. Tech Deals is rich now. I don't know about that. I don't know how much money he could have made in his stint of YouTube. Tech Deals views is a bit low. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him though. I feel like they still made as good of quality content as they, tried, and people just don't watch it anymore. Eventually, all content will be bought and paid for by ads. It's frustrating for consumers. Well, apparently not rumor stuff. I don't know how many ads are actually run on these rumor channels, but they're doing fine. Nothing lasts forever. Yeah, Timmy Joe PC Tech. That's another one. Like, we could pull up so many channels that had to call it quits. Timmy Joe 9 months ago, but even before that, he quit. And Timmy Joe is also, he's a Canadian, and he also did actual videos where he's building PCs, testing hardware, and doing stuff like that. What I consider, actual effort and, like, real content. Sorry, I know I sound like a hater, but some of the AI rumor mill stuff, I just don't consider real content. Gear Seekers also, I mean, they're still... Gear Seekers is... I'm a big fan of Gear Seekers. They put in so much work in their channel, and the views just don't reflect. Dude, like, he's doing actual monitor reviews, actual in-depth case reviews and builds, motherboard reviews. Look at these views. Like, this totally sucks. The viewers aren't rewarding him by watching his content. They're rewarding the other channels. And I think it is, it's a dark sign for YouTube and, like, as a whole, but more so because, PC tech on YouTube is kind of a niche. It's definitely not the biggest category out there. And even the biggest channels aren't as big as, in the, like, 50 plus million, like some of the other categories are. So PC tech on YouTube is already kind of a niche, but, only a handful of creators are actually being rewarded for their content. What about UFD Tech? Same thing. UFD Tech is still, I mean, they make channel videos almost every day. Brett's a buddy of mine. He started, I guess, no, he's still doing hardware stuff too. Brett does a lot of tech news, but he doesn't use AI slop thumbnails. And I feel like he's usually one of the, because he works early morning hours, so he's one of the first to get out of it. But, like, I mean, Brett's a good dude. He does a bunch of good stuff for the community. I have no issues with his channel. But even if you look at some of his views, some of them can't even rival some of GamerMeld, and GamerMeld has like a quarter of the followers, and it's just producing way more of the same repetitive stuff. Like, at least Brett doesn't produce the same video 5 times in the same week, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think Brett's still doing well though. His videos are still doing, I wouldn't consider him anywhere close to like struggling compared to, let's say, like Timmy Joe Tech dying off, Tech of Tomorrow, and Gear Seekers. Just looking at the views, it looks like they're struggling. So news vids from channels that actually use hardware are so different than rumor channels that only focus. Yeah, like there's a difference between channels that actually still do stuff, which Brett still does. Like, you can catch him on his streams actually still building PCs all the time and giving them away. He's still, when he gets cards in and stuff, he's still doing reviews and testing and benchmarking. And then you have the other channels who just literally do nothing except produce the same slop day in and day out. Sometimes you have to, you agree, but sometimes you have to post often. Yeah, no, I understand why some of these channels are just posting often to hit the algo. What I'm saying is that is going to be the death of small to medium-sized creators who are actually putting in work to make their content. Like, if we keep on going down this path, you're only going to have a few handful of creators who can make it because, you know, they're still doing fine. But any new content creator coming out now, why would they even bother doing actual hardware videos when they could just do rumor mill videos with the fraction of the effort and with, like, you know, 10 times the return in views and revenue? Thoughts on TechSource? I think TechSource is fine. He doesn't even TechSource gets a lot of hate, but he actually does builds. He actually makes, not only, so TechSource has had drama in the past.
What can you get?
But I don't have issues with him because, one, he's still doing PC builds of all, like, budget ranges. He's still going out to Micro Center, giving away PCs to people. He's still shouting out and showcasing people's, like, setups and stuff, as well as doing his own setup. Like, he's actually doing stuff. Like, he's making his own content. He's building stuff. He's doing physical work. I think he has sometimes people find TechSource to have, like, an abrasive personality. Sometimes he does come off as a little bit of showboaty, right? Sometimes he shows off his cars, his house, his $4,000 PC tech setup. So I think people have bad impressions of Ed from TechSource just because his stuff is sometimes out of their price range. But I mean, I watch his stuff from time to time. I think his stuff is fine. Ed did a lot of work helping out small content creators and just showcasing, you know, the hard work that people put into their builds and stuff with the Setup War series. So I don't really have bad things to say about Ed. I think he's pretty far past his drama and controversy. I haven't heard anything really with him recently that's, like, negative. So, oh yeah, Greg also is a channel who puts in a lot of work. How's Greg doing? I haven't talked to Greg in a while, but I would consider Greg a pretty good friend. I can hit him up probably anytime to either hop on a call or just talk in email. But yeah, Greg puts in work. He troubleshoots other people's computers for free. He's actually, like, doing stuff. His views, if it's not flip or flop, it seems like it's not as good, which kind of sucks because, again, like, even a video like these, like, Greg puts work into it. And for it to get a fraction of a rumor mill's channels. But I think Greg has a very small team. And he does have quite a bit of sponsors. So I think Greg's doing pretty well. He's almost at 1 million. Almost 100K off of 1 million. I'm subbed to 95% of these people. Yeah, so, like, all these channels I'm bringing up, like, we're looking through them. Like, I think Greg is going to be fine. People like UFD Tech, Brett and Zach are gonna be fine. Toasty Bros are kind of interesting. Toasty Bros, I really like them. I consider them good friends in the tech space. You know, I've been collabing with Toasty Bros since 2016. They were one of my first content creator friends that I made on the platform alongside Tech by Matt, Ostox Hardware and stuff like that. So, like, if you look at it blows my mind. The Toasty Bros are one of the hardest working channels in the PC tech space. They make videos almost every single day, if not every other day. And all of their videos, they are actually doing stuff. They're unboxing PCs, they're setting them up, they're testing them, they're doing these build challenges. The amount of work that the Toasty Bros do, and when I see their views versus rumor mill channel views, it breaks my heart. Like, look at, like, the Toasty Bros are constantly coming at it with PC builds, with, like, you know, here they tested different remotes, but they're buying these random obscure Alienware PCs from eBay for, like, super cheap. They're constantly buying PCs from Costco and Sam's Club. They're actually putting in so much work and effort. and for their views to like be in the mid 50Ks, given the size of their channel, I don't know, like I think that totally blows. They deserve so many more views than what they are actually getting. Toasty Bros are cool. They're always on the grind. The fact that they post high quality, fun videos like 4 or 5 times a week is ridiculous. I know they have a whole team, but when it comes to channels that put in the grind and the work versus the views that they get, it's to me, it's not fair. But that's just me complaining. Maybe you should hit up companies for sponsorship. Even Surfshark and stuff, they always do hit me up for sponsorships and all that. I'm about to start taking VPN sponsors because it's easy money. And unfortunately, the amount of work, like, because I do everything myself, when I get videos out, just because I get them out every week or every other week, it doesn't mean that I'm not constantly working on stuff or working on them. It's just, it takes, when you're procuring all the parts yourself, you're building all the system yourself, you're doing the benchmarks, you're doing the editing, you're releasing, working emails with sponsorships, that's time consuming. And there's no way, I do not make enough money to even hire on help. If anything, if I could get a YouTube Shorts editor to hire on to work remotely that I could pay per short, that would be a huge thing. But there's no way I could pay for people locally to me. It's just, I don't make enough money. How there are other platform analytics that focus on short form content. Take all the sponsors you can get. It's not personal, it's business. Yeah, I've held out on so many sponsors over the years just because I thought it was like not a good sponsor or whatever. But now I'm just thinking like, hey, if they're paying, I'm going to slap a sponsorship on it. This is just how it's got to be because the viewership is not bringing in enough money for the amount of hours I'm sinking into making some of these videos. Toasty Bros do post office, and yeah, they are relatable. They're just a bunch of, well, they're like in their, what, mid-20s? Maybe late 20s now. I forget how old they are. All my content creator friends on YouTube, a lot of them are like a lot younger than me. When I met them, they were like 19. So they're like in their, oh no, they're probably, yeah, in their late 20s, early 30s now. Toasty Bros supported several lower sub channels. I know they even sponsored. Yeah, Toasty Bros running sponsorships on like Pinky Tech and stuff like that. Like I know Toasty Bros sometimes gets hate for, I don't know why they get hate, because I feel like they're kind of like a low-key smaller version of like a Linus Tech Tips, where they're just constantly doing random fun videos, but it's all PC hardware related. And I don't know why people hate their stuff so much, because to me it's fine, and that's with my friendship aside. Like, yeah, even if I wasn't, if I didn't know them personally and I've worked with them and stuff like that, I would think that their content is good for the PC tech space in general. So I don't get why they get so much hate. Did Honey ever offer to you? I think Honey did offer to me years ago. I just never took it. Tech Testers is good too, and she also puts in the work. Indeed. Yeah, we saw the Tech Testers video.
If you're looking,
did she have a kid recently? I don't remember, but she's pulling in actually. So Tech Testers took a break like last year at some point, and they didn't release videos for a while, but they've been killing it. So in terms of medium-sized channels, I think like they're doing fine. They're releasing videos pretty regularly and are getting like, you know, really good viewership on it relative to their size. I think they're a husband and wife duo, and I thought the husband used to be shown on the channel more, but now it just looks like the wife is. Nada is her name, but yeah, she makes good stuff too. You might have a guy for me, Danny. Are you talking about a shorts editor? You mean Wayne? I would totally be down to hire, but it depends on what his rates are. Because to be honest, Chris, you know what ad revenue looks like when you have a certain amount of views, and I'm not running sponsors on all my videos, right? So, and YouTube Shorts, even if you get one that breaks like 1 million views, I think 1 million views YouTube Short brings in like a couple of bucks. So I know there's a growth aspect of it, but it depends on how much they're able to edit for. Because hiring someone, a lot of people hire editors in like second and third world countries because the dollar is so much stronger over there. So you're providing jobs to people in less fortunate circumstances, and you're getting like the best bang for your buck, right? So yeah, it just depends. Like if I could pay like $10 per short, that would probably be my like what I'm looking for. And if someone is a dedicated video editor, dedicated shorts video editor, you could probably edit one up in like 15-20 minutes, I would think. So that's not bad, especially in like third world country rates, but yeah. Jared's Tech is the highest award winner of Honest every year for 4 years. Wait, Mike Brazone. Jared's Tech, you're talking about the laptop channel, right? Which I don't really... Yeah, Jared's Tech. Which I'm not a huge follower of laptop content. But yeah, Jared's Tech, if I was looking for laptop stuff, is probably one of the top channels I would go to. If I want something more in depth. I like Dave 2D for the overview type videos. But Jared's, I mean, all his videos slap pretty hard. They do pretty good. Besides yourself, Danny, Tech Yes City. Yeah, let's see how... Brian is a long friend of the channel. I haven't collabed with him or seen him in a while. When I went to Japan a couple years ago, I was hoping to meet up with him, but he was busy with his son and stuff like that, so we just couldn't meet up. But yeah, I like Brian's stuff. Brian's another guy who puts in the work, man. He is constantly picking up like hardware, constantly doing videos, testing them and benchmarking them and stuff like that. And like sometimes his views are like hit or miss. Like 19K on the newest one. So he got a 5070 Ti. Again, I'm telling you, if you guys watch any of these content creators that do the day one reviews, I cannot stress how much work it takes to do a day one review. And for 12 hours to pass, and to be honest, people go to their Linus Tech Tips, they go to their Gamers Nexus, they go to the Hardware Unboxed, and then maybe they'll watch a couple more videos, and then they're not going to watch anything else. So most of the other small to medium-sized content creators that do get their hands on a 5070 Ti, they get screwed over on their view counts because they probably spent the last week or two, day in and day out, spending 40, 50, 60, 70 hours testing these damn cards for 8K views. Like, it's just not reflective, which kind of sucks. That's what you pay him per short. If he's looking for work, maybe I'll link up with him. But yeah, I mean, that's as much as I can afford to pay, unfortunately. He's a friend. I don't care if we lose money paying him since... Yeah. I mean, if I pay for shorts, I'm losing money no matter what. YouTube shorts just don't bring in any money. They bring in growth and viewership, which is a strategy that apparently works because Brett from UFD Tech and Zach from Zach's Tech Turf, like, their shorts have propelled their growth and their viewership on their normal videos, I feel. So, yeah. Rip to my homies who want a PC for a good price but avoid scalpers. If you're building a sub $1,000 system, building a PC isn't that hard right now. You can easily do it. Ancient Gameplays is pretty good. Ancient Gameplays is doing pretty good. So I'm not saying that all channels who do
Hello, guys.
actual work are dying, because Ancient Gameplays is actually doing his numbers. Again, it's kind of like this guy puts in work. I like Ancient Gameplays. He is always doing like analysis type videos and comparisons for drivers and graphics cards and stuff like that. And again, the amount of hours he must be putting into these videos compared to rumor mill channels, it sucks. Yeah, Worms Gaming and Ancient Plays, I like them a lot too. The good thing about some of these channels though is that they're based in other countries, so they do get quite a bit of support from viewership there. I know like the US is probably the best country to like make content for any kind of given category, because you just get the most viewership. YouTube, I feel like if you look at the biggest channels, right, like Mr. Beast, I guess T-Series is up there. India and China and South America has a big growing. But if you can speak English, but you're based in a different company, you kind of have like, it's almost like the power of being a dual linguist, right? Where you get the US viewers, but then you get the backing and the support of your home country. You know what the funny thing is? People think I'm Filipino. So outside of the US and Canada, the Philippines is one of my like top viewership countries. If you're looking at like all the countries, like US makes up like maybe 50% of my viewership. Canada is like the next 20%. UK is next and stuff. But then once you start breaking into like the single digit percentage viewership countries, the Philippines is like one of the top ranking Asian countries. And I don't know if it's because people think I'm Filipino, but you get, as a content creator, you get backing and support from your home country, or from whatever country you look like you're from, apparently. Can you believe the kind of growth? Cathode Ray Dude. Cathode Ray Dude. Honestly, I don't know if I've heard of this channel. Cathode Ray Dude. Cathode Ray Dude, okay. So it's a play on words of cathode ray tube, CRT, which is kind of older tech. So he does retro content. PS3, old school telephones. Yeah, crazy growth. How old is this stuff? Oh no, he's been making stuff for like 7 years. Yeah, he's been making stuff for a long time. The kind of growth, I would say, making stuff for this long and being at around 200,000 viewers, if anything, he's not growing fast enough. But, yeah, I mean, he has some videos from like 5 years ago, 3 years ago. His most popular videos are around like 1 million views. But, yeah, YouTube is kind of weird with what they recommend. But his recent stuff is all killing it. You know, 100K plus. This stuff, too, is stuff that takes forever to make. Like getting your hands on retro hardware, taking it apart, cleaning it, and then doing the research and like testing and showcasing it working. This is not easy stuff. This, you know, I don't know if I've seen him recommended on my feed, but I'm gonna go subscribe to him right now on my my main non-incognito window. He has old stuff that you don't even know. Yeah, so this is good stuff. Northwest Repairs, also some good stuff. You know where's he based in? Is he Oregon? He's not Washington State, right? I don't know if he puts his ad. Does anyone know where Northwest Repair is based out of? Northwest Repair. If I could ever transition into any type of content, I would love to do board level repair stuff. But this is just stuff that takes years of learning, and you have to have the right tools to do. But I mean, you've got these videos. This is hard work right here. This is real hard work right here. And again, viewership, I mean, it's pretty specialty and niche. Not a ton of people are going to be looking for this type of content. You'll have the occasional people who have their broken GPUs trying to look to repair it. But for the most part, most people RMA or just replace their hardware. This is good for, you know, recycling, reusing, keeping e-waste out of landfills. But it is very niche topic, so. Salem Techspert also got pushed hard in my algorithm. Board level repair is nuts indeed. Did anyone know where he's from? Because normally they would put like a mailing address for you to ship them stuff or something, but let's say if Google AI can find the answer to this. Pacific Northwest. Oh, thank you, Google AI. You're so smart. Yeah, Northwest Repair, they were doing a lot of 4090 repair as well as the scam video stuff. But where are they? Is Tony from Northwest Repair? Is Northwest Repair a ripoff? Northwest Repair. Oh, I don't think it's Northwest Computer Repair. That's a different company. Yeah, Auto Shop, Northwest Auto Shop. Yeah, I can't find Northwest Repair, like PC repair. Northwest Computer Repair. I don't think this is them. They wouldn't have this. It's not. Yeah, I think it's Oregon. If I had to guess, I would guess it's Oregon. But okay, it is somehow 2 hours into stream. My sous vide has been going for an hour now. How long can you sous vide a steak for? Here's a question AI might be able to answer. Because the cook of the steak is based on the internal temperature, meaning if you sous vide it at a low temperature, it will never get, you know, like well done and and like rough, or not rough, but tough and chewy, right? So I sous vide it up to medium rare for the last hour, which means it's been sitting in a bath of about 130 degree water temperature, meaning it has not gotten any hotter than that. But if I just left the sous vide on for like 5 hours, which I've never done before, and you pull it out and then you finish it off with the sear, does that not mess with the consistency at all, that it was sitting at that temperature for that long? 2 to 10 hours? Isn't that when you boil a steak in a plastic bag? It's not really boiling it. It's cooking it at... Because boiling, you would have to take it to 212, right? The water. But yes, that is when you are cooking it in a warm bath to bring it up to temperature for, I guess, a more consistent cook. I sous vide roast for 20 hours. Sous vide for several hours. I mean, mine should be ready. It's not that thick of a cut, but... Huh. What? I think Guga Foods sous vide something for like days before. I don't know. I would never sous vide anything for like that long. I'm just curious if you forgot about it, how long you could sous vide for. But Northridge Fix, that's another one, isn't it? Northridge Fix is not Northwest Repair, I don't think. Yeah, Northridge is based in California. Northwest, I'm pretty sure, is specifically Pacific Northwest. So Oregon/Washington. Don, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but as we can see, oops, why is it so zoomed in? 3060 Ti is looking good. Let's see if I can see a temperature on here. Nope. The zoom quality sucks too bad. But we're good on that, so I need to send payment over for that card. We're just gonna chill for the rest of the stream though. In terms of upcoming content, oh yeah, and I didn't even talk about it last week. Oops, wrong way. But the 5080, I ended up putting a 1000 watt RMX power supply in there. 5080 worked just fine, no problem. We're probably gonna build that system hopefully soon. My mentor got all his parts in. His motherboard finally came in, so he has everything. We need to decide on a day for that. But this weekend there'll be this video basically explaining why people should not complain about how difficult it is to build a gaming PC right now, because you could build a $500 system easily that could game. If you expect 4K high refresh rate, 1440p maxed out high refresh rate, that's another thing. But I don't know. At that point, I gotta ask you, are you into PC gaming, or are you into the spectacle that is PC gaming? I don't know if you're... this might be a controversial take, but I don't know if you could call yourself a real PC gamer if you can only game with the nicest systems. If you can't sit down and enjoy a $700 or $800 gaming PC and just play PC games and enjoy that, I don't know if you are, like, at your heart, a PC gamer. I think you're like a pixel peeper, and like, to you, the gameplay itself is not as important as looking at the reflections off of the mirrors in the cars in the game and stuff. I don't know, might be a hot take, but I play PC games to play the games. I don't play so that I can show off that I have 200 plus FPS playing at ultra settings. I'm not saying it's not a nice thing to have, but I don't think that's a requirement. A requirement of PC gaming is not gaming at maxed out graphics at 200 FPS. I think if you had to, like, if you put me on a desert island for a year and all I had was a PC that was like $800-900 that had like a 3070 in it, and all I could play was games at like 1080p, I don't think I would complain. I'm not gonna be like, oh god, I wish I had a PC that was capable of 4K gaming. I would get through the year just fine playing with that 3070 at 1080p. Like what are our priorities here? Looking at pretty graphics or just playing the damn game? What's in my current rig? Currently in my rig, so I've got a 12700K, and I do have the 4070 Ti in there. I put that in there as a filler for the LAN party, but I'm about to go to the B580. But before I put in the 4070 Ti there temporarily, I was using the Intel Arc A770. So these are very much 1080p cards. Going from the A770 to the B580, it's barely an upgrade, but I mean, I'm fine with that. Danny has 3 5090s in SLI, yeah, right. If only. My game specialty is Intel doctorate in Intel. Yes, Mike is very much an Intel person. I saw some of the, what is it, class action lawsuits. Looking up your name, Mike, I saw some interesting things, but I wish you had like a LinkedIn account that had all your previous work history, just so that people can know more about what you do. Danny's nervous tossing the tape around. No, I'm a very fidgety person. If I'm not doing that, I'm playing with a screwdriver or something like that. But yeah. Some folks love the Visuals Max. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying you gotta adapt to your situation. Some of these people, I don't even know what they were doing during the pandemic when you couldn't even get like a GTX 970 for a reasonable price. During the peak pandemic and crypto surge in 2021 and parts of 2020, these people must have gotten new hobbies or something, because you weren't even getting a medium range, like a medium tier graphics card for a decent price. Right now, there are so many graphics cards you could get that could give you a good PC gaming experience. And the only thing people could focus on are the new releases and the $1,000+ graphics cards, and the fact that they're being scalped and you can't find them. I don't know. Maybe that's why all the videos about the rumor slop is getting good performance. Well, I'm over here sitting with the Intel i5 6600K and an RX 480 and enjoying benchmarking these. And nobody watches my videos. Maybe that's why. Most PC gamers, they have different priorities. HDZ77 says game tech reviews. I've not seen that channel. Game tech reviews. All right, let's take a look. So the reviews. Okay, so this is a smaller channel. Unboxing that they got a B580, nice. Yeah, so it looks like they're actually wait.
Video today we're going to be doing a video on DDR. The courses are taught by faculty. Mix.
Okay, yeah. See, every time I see a channel that actually does hands-on hardware stuff, I like. Please do not. I do not want to learn about any more rumor mill channels. Every time I see them in my recommended, I go, do not recommend. And it still pops up. But yeah, seeing channels like this, up and coming, 1.5K videos, holy, that's a lot of videos. Yeah, there's a lot of videos. So, best of luck to them. A type of channel like this is very, very hard to grow in the current landscape of YouTube. But 6600K. Yes, 6600K. Literally a 10-year-old processor. Not 10-year-old yet, almost 10-year-old. When did the 6600K release? Q3 2015, but it's 10 years this year. Man, this was when Intel still had their crappy. It wasn't until 8th gen when they went up to 6 cores. But the fact that they went on to Kaby Lake i5s, 4 cores, not even hyper-threaded, was mind-blowing to me. Like, at the time, they didn't really have competition, right? Because AMD at the time, their top processor was what? Like the 80, or the popular one was like the 8350, the 8370. So they boasted a high, they were really, what were they? 4 core, 8 threads. They boasted high core and thread counts, but they weren't really that high. It was just a weird, different time back then, because you needed an i7 to have 4 cores, 8 threads, at the time. And if you had an i5, you just had no cores and threads. You were stuck with this, which surprisingly can still play games. This played every game I threw at it, up to Cyberpunk, up to God of War Ragnarok, up to Call of Duty. I mean, it struggled in Call of Duty, but Call of Duty is a garbage game that I'm gonna get rid of from my benchmarking suite. But I mean, this surprisingly still slaps, but I would never recommend anyone go out and buy it in this day and age. But it still works. And I'm excited to show you guys the benchmarks from it because it can run some games pretty well. A lot of people don't really know better though. They believe that $1,000 is the minimum investment to get into PC gaming, which is sad to me. Yeah, I mean, and if all they're watching is like these rumor mill slop and not watching like the Tech Yes Cities, the Toasty Bros, the Oztalks Hardwares, the Tech by Matt, Zach's Tech Turf, my channel, which is like, how do you go through your PC journey looking on YouTube doing research and you don't come across a single channel that shows you that building an $800 PC, even with new components, is a viable option to get into PC gaming? How did we get to the point where people just straight up say you can't build a good PC game for like under $1,000, where you can't build a good gaming PC for under $1,000? What is this mindset from? It's YouTube. It's the YouTube algorithm not pushing the budget content. It's got to be that. Because I don't get how you can watch a video of me showing you a $750 gaming PC where I give you alternatives because I know the B580 is sold out. Oh yeah, let's take a look at B580. Are those like available yet? They should be soon, I would imagine, because people are kind of... They're kind of over the excitement phase, aren't they? Let's see. Nope. Auto Notify 250. Wow. Even these Onyx Lumi ones have become out of stock. They were... These come back in stock. If you are looking for a B580, put your alerts on. These come back in stock. I see the alerts all the time. You know, you can get one for under 300 bucks decently easily. And you could build yourself an $800 gaming PC and enjoy the crap out of it. But no, people don't want that apparently. Do you know by chance if a 6600K outperforms no. Unfortunately, well, just based on the quick CPU based tests that I ran, the single-threaded performance of the 4790K was better than the 6600K. Now, granted, I cannot overclock it because the motherboard I got it with is a B150. So there was no ratio overclocking or B clock. So, yeah, I am running at stock, but it does have higher clock speeds than the non-K version, but not overclocked. Craft computing does cool content to be doing all right. Jeff is super cool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a handful of medium to small content creators who are gonna do just fine. But I think if you don't get love from the algorithm and you just, for whatever reason, don't get views on your videos, I don't know what you can do to change that. Sometimes when I see different channels' performance, it blows my mind how like one channel performs like way better than another. And a perfect example is my really good buddy Oztalks Hardware. Everyone talks about,
Hey, I saw.
consistency. You need to show your videos every single day. The viewers need to see your face every single day. Bro, Oz did a video 3 days ago, but before that, his other video was 2 months ago. And before that, he released like a video every month. So I'm not saying all medium-sized channels are like doomed and gloomed. I'm just saying I think a lot of them are. And mine is also on the chopping block. Because I know I upload more than Ozzy does. I'm not saying I should get more views than Ozzy. I would like to get equal views to Ozzy or even close to Ozzy's numbers given how much he uploads. But that's just not what is happening. Ozzy actually has not produced that many videos in the lifetime of his thing, but Ozzy's just a lovable dude. Like, Ozzy is like probably one of my favorite medium-sized channels, but he does not upload often. But when he does upload, he gets, you know, pretty decent views for it. So I don't. Where's your argument that you need to upload every single day? You need to kill yourself producing AI slop, rumor mill slop every single day so that YouTube can show you love. Because YouTube is still showing love to channels that make videos, you know, once every 2 months. So I don't want to hear that crap. I think the people who don't believe the algorithm is a real thing are the people who are getting shown love by the algorithm. Because you can talk to multiple content creators, and the people who are struggling are going to tell you algorithm is a real thing. But the people who are doing really well are going to say, nah, you just need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and do better work or some crap like that. People who are shown love by the algorithm and have lucked out, they will never admit to you that YouTube is a partial game of luck. You guys have seen it, right? You guys have seen channels that have been putting in work for years, producing high quality content, and have never had their break. YouTube has never shown their videos to other people, and they are stuck being a small channel for, we're talking like years. And then you see other channels who produce, and we're not even talking about just the PC tech space, we're just talking about YouTube in general. Haven't you ever come across a channel that is just like, has tons of views and tons of subscribers, and you're just like, this makes no sense? The quality of content that they make is so much lower than some of these other channels out there, yet they're grown and they have tons of sponsorships and they're raking in the money. That's my takeaway about the YouTube algorithm. Being someone who has been thrown up and down in the YouTube algorithm, I've had my growth phases, I've had my stagnation phases. It is very much a real thing, and it annoys me when successful channels just write it off as something that doesn't exist and they just put it all down to hard work, because that couldn't be further from the truth. And I showed you channels this stream that are putting in the work that are not rewarded with the view count. So I don't want to hear it about the algorithm not being a real thing. It's the same thing with money, lol. If you have it, you did it yourself and nobody helped. Yeah, people who got rich either by luck or by having rich mommy and daddy, they'll never want to admit it to you that, you know, something aside from hard work was the explanation from it. They buy bots? I don't know. They don't buy bots. Again, YouTube algorithm shows what it wants to show. Oz is an artsy meets frugal tech meets PC gaming. It's a special niche, and it looks like he found his audience. Yeah. Well, the thing is, me and Ozzy, for many years, I bet you we share a lot of the same audience. The issue is, I'm constantly getting comments of people saying, I didn't even know you uploaded a new video. I didn't get fed a notification on YouTube, or YouTube has unsubscribed me from your channel. So when YouTube puts you out of the algorithm, it really puts you out of it. Not everyone can exploit YouTube like Spiffing Brit does. I don't even know who that is. What's your most successful YouTube videos? Can't you just keep doing those? Or not possible? What are my most successful YouTube videos? Dude, some of my most successful ones in the past have been build videos. So budget build videos. A lot of the Craigslist ones are up at the top, but I mean, we have CPU, all these offer ones. Build video is also up here. The build videos for the longest time has been what building with people, which, I mean, look, this video, maybe it was because I did it with a girl that the viewers found cute, versus my most recent one with my step brother with a black dude nobody cared about. I don't know. But yeah, the budget build videos have always done decently well. And now I can't even get a budget build video after 2 weeks to get 10K views. So no, I can't just keep on doing the same thing and expect good. Land Party is doing all right, I guess. But you also can't ask me to keep doing some of these Craigslist videos because these are not planned. Like, the interactions you have with random strangers on Craigslist and OfferUp, you cannot always make them exciting. It is based on the person. How many times have you guys gone and picked up something and it was just a normal transaction? Why would it not be any different for me? The only way I could consistently do these videos is if I faked them. If I hired the person I was meeting up with and I completely faked it and it was an actor, or if I stirred up drama on purpose for whatever reason. But these types of videos, you can't consistently rely on doing them because that's just not how the world works. So the only things that I can consistently do and put out is the build type videos, the hardware type videos, because I am in control of me being able to buy hardware. I'm in control of me building PCs and testing them. All like the Logan video, like I could not have planned helping out Logan with his PC like this and it doing as good as it did, you know? So yeah, but I mean, lots of the build videos, $600 bills, $300, $300. Like, I've done budget videos recently and they don't even perform as well as they used to. 200, no, this is a Temu $340 PC. Where's the $200? Here's a 10-year-old PC refresh. $200 PC. I mean, 50K is not bad, but I would think based on past viewership, $200 that could play all modern AAA titles. You're telling me only like 49K views? $500 PC didn't even break 20K views. This is $500 small form factor, repeatable, with the case with the handle. And people are complaining you can't build gaming PCs that are capable. And I'm showing plenty of examples of it under $1,000 and the views are crap. So I don't know what to do. Yeah, just keep doing kindness videos and Craigslist meetups. Again, that's not... that. You know how much work it takes to meet up with a person and how many hours of footage also? Meetup and kindness videos, even though they bring in lots of views, is not guaranteed, because sometimes I've done them and they did not bring in the views. And the amount of effort, like, I like doing them, I just can't do them every single week or every month. It's... If you're a content creator, which I know you understand, Jason, but to the people who aren't content creators, you could probably watch my videos and feel like, oh, that's the type of content he could probably make pretty normally, easily. And then there's other types of content where it's like, okay, yeah, I can't expect him to do that kind of every week. So, YouTube unsubs people in late October every year, I've noticed. I've not noticed a specific time frame, but interesting. I believe I found you from your budget giveaway videos or selling stuff with strangers. Yeah. I mean, the weather's getting somewhat nicer now. We're not in like the dead of winter anymore. We're about to approach spring. So it will be easier to do meetup videos. But again, not all the meetup videos do well. Like, where was it? 2 for the Price of 1 did pretty well. But I guess if I try to find one that didn't do that well, like meeting up to give away free cases, that was only 14K views. This seller meetup one, him sleeping in, didn't even break 100K. So yeah, this one did way worse than I thought. I had to drive out to this dude and kind of not in the middle of nowhere, but pretty far out to pick up this graphics card. He ended up giving me a discount on it. It was a really positive, good interaction. 16K views. Like, it's so hit or miss that I don't want to put a ton of time and effort into one of these types of videos just to have it flop, you know? What if you find some kids that want their PCs fixed and you secretly upgrade and surprise them? See, these types of videos, you guys see like a 20 to 30 minute video. What I see on the back end is like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours of footage, because that's what it takes when you're doing these troubleshooting types of videos, and you're documenting the entire process. So that is not something that is doable on like a normal interval, if that makes sense. Like, just imagine anytime you have ever done PC tech support for somebody or helped fix their computer. Now imagine that, except you had to record with the camera and talk to it the entire time, and then afterwards you had to edit the video to release it. Now you can kind of get into like why I don't want to do that type of content super regularly, right? Because I would lose my mind. Like, there's no way I have enough time in the world to do that. Troubleshooting videos are tough. I don't get how Greg does it so much. I guess with Greg had gone to Greg Salazar, his PC Fix or Flop series. It's bringing in enough that I feel like for him it's easily worth it, and he has it down. Like, he's been doing this for years now, and he's on like season whatever, episode whatever of it. So he has it down to like a science. But I don't know if I want to get into doing that, because one, it would be like pretty much a complete ripoff of his series. But yeah, those types of things, you can't plan it. You can't plan the interactions you have with these types of people, how, you know, how they're going to behave or react on camera. Like, I've gotten pretty lucky with a lot of my videos where the people were really nice and excited and things like that. But imagine you do a fixing video, you give it back to them, there's like no reaction, and stuff like that, right? That's the unfortunate thing about YouTube. You have to you can't just make the content you enjoy, because that kind of stuff doesn't necessarily bring in views. How do I know? Because I enjoyed building this PC and teaching my stepbrother how to build it, but it is performing like complete dog water. You know how long it took us to build this PC, and for then me to get this video edited down? I paid an editor money to edit this video, and it brought in 7K views. So yeah, I mean, this is one of those types of, you know, helping out somebody type of video, but it doesn't always perform well. Putting out merch doesn't help, because people already don't buy the merch. Me spending more money on merch when people buy the merch, but not to any, like, I don't have lttstore.com and, you know, with my merch. First of all, I've spent hundreds of dollars, closer to probably over $1,000 on my various merch designs, and buying the product myself so I could test it. And I feel like my merch designs are pretty like good looking compared to like all the merch that exists out there, right? Like, I feel like I have pretty cool looking designs that I spent a long time working on, and I paid good money to get those designs. I could tell you my profits from merch total from my merch sales is not, it hasn't even broken $1,000. I haven't even broke even on merch sales. Each shirt, I only make like 10 to 15 bucks. Shirt or hoodie. So the amount of merch that I've sold, and then you got to pay taxes on it. No, like, merch sales for small to medium channels are nowhere near compared to like Gamers Nexus and Linus Tech Tips and those channels. Merch sales are abysmal for tech channels or medium to small channels. I mean, I have the merch. I've run my own pre-roll ads for my own merch. I've made specific videos when I've released the merch. I have my merch near the top of the description section every single video. I have it on my channel. You can find, it's like my merch store is visible everywhere you go. even when you're watching my YouTube Shorts content, my merch pops up.
I'm gonna quit now.
I think you guys might have a skewed perspective of how much money merch brings in because of how successful LTTstore.com is. Loyal fans buy merch. I don't even think loyal fans buy merch. If I don't even want to run the poll because I don't want to call you guys out on it, but I would say people who attend the stream every single week are loyal fans. I would say of my 309,000 subscribers, there should be a subset of loyal followers. And there are people who watch the videos instantly. They leave comments on every single video. There's, you know, this one, oh my God, 56 comments. That is such a sad and pathetic number. But normally, there's a high... I have like a decent fan base. But translating into less than $1,000 worth of profit, and I'm not complaining, right? I'm not saying you guys need to go out and buy my merch. It should be a natural thing. People should want to buy merch because they want to buy it. They shouldn't buy it because I'm sitting over here throwing a pity party that I'm not making money on merch. I'm just explaining to the people who said, you know, who are giving suggestions, which Staying 2007 is a very loyal viewer, like throwing out the idea, would more merch help? I'm telling you right now, the investment that you put into merch, for me anyways, does not cut it. Like, my sales from merch are abysmal. So, yes, you are right. Most people who follow me are on a budget, so they are money conscious. The thing about merch is that you don't buy merch, like you don't buy an LTT screwdriver because you think it's worth, how much is this thing? 70 or 80 bucks? You buy merch because that content creator gave you out thousands of hours, you know, hundreds of videos worth of free content, and you say, you know what? I could use a new screwdriver. Buying one for $70 for me watching their content over the last decade, that's not that bad of an exchange. And this is a good screwdriver, right? Buying my shirts for 30 bucks or wherever they're like 30 bucks, I think. Buying that is not because you think you should buy a t-shirt that's worth $30. It's because you want to support the channel and you've enjoyed or you've saved money watching my content. If you've saved money over the years because you've watched my content and were inspired to deal hunt and you followed my advice and strategies and stuff, and you've saved hundreds of dollars buying in the used market, turning around and buying a $30 t-shirt so that I can at the end of the day make 10 bucks off that sale, that's not the worst exchange in the world, right? But like if you go to my YouTube Shorts, is it gonna show the merch?
I recently received an email.
Usually when I'm watching it on my phone, the merch shows up down here. It's probably not showing up because you have to have merch enabled or something in your YouTube settings, and I'm not signed in. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't know you had merch, lol. I mean, it's not that hard to miss the fact that I have merch. It's, I mean, right? It's the first link when you go to my channel, and every single video, it's like, I mean, we go to this one. It is, aside from like the stuff related to the video, it is the next first thing, aside from all the video stuff. Plus the merch stuff usually shows up on the screen. I'm sure, because every time I watch my own videos from my phone just to check stuff out, the merch window pops up on it. So, yeah. You might just have to enable it, but... yeah, that's kind of a look at what's going on behind the scenes of things. Unfortunately, not the best of news. I'm just, you know, still creating content as much as I can while I still can. But, I mean, just the way things are looking... again, don't be surprised if some of the channels that you've watched over the years just end up disappearing and stop making content. The thing is, for you guys as viewers, you just move on. There's always going to be other content creators to watch. There's always going to be new stuff to watch. You know, there's channels up and coming every single day. So, like some of the channels I mentioned earlier, Tech of Tomorrow, Tech Deals and stuff. Some of you guys knew about them, but you probably haven't given them like a single thought for years. That's could happen to my channel, and that'd be a sad day when it finally does, if it does. but that's just the reality of things. So we'll see if I have to change the strategy up, pivot to making garbage content that I can throw out more frequently. Would you rather have me not make any content at all, or throw out slop content but be more consistent about it because it's low effort, low hanging fruit, easy to do? Slop, baby. I mean, why not do the slop, right? At least before you go out. Wow. Evie just tipped $50 to the PayPal, which means YouTube doesn't take a cut. You're the best. Please don't change. I appreciate everything you do and love watching it. And I appreciate you guys who come to the stream every single week. Just that, you know, hang out. Because I know you guys are the super loyal, dedicated viewers. It's just not everything is sunshines and rainbows, to be honest. And this isn't just with me. Like, everything I'm saying, go check out some of your favorite medium to small channels. Look at their like subscriber count. Look at their recent video view counts. If it's the same as what you're seeing on my channel, they're going through the same thing. They might not be vocal about it, but I guarantee you, when you're at a channel that has over 100,000 subscribers and you are releasing video after video that can't even break 10K views, it's super disheartening, and the same things are running through their minds. Should I continue doing this? Should I keep going? Is this worth doing anymore? We're still doing decent enough on this channel, but things are definitely on the downtrend at the moment. We have our uptrends and downtrends. It's been like that over the years, but over the last couple of years, we've had some of the worst downtrends and stagnations that I've had in almost 10 years of doing YouTube. January 2016, I will be at 10 years on this channel. And the last couple of years, the slow points of the channel have been the worst of the last like 9 years. Facts, a few creator friends are rage quitting big time, yeah. I really love your content, but do what you gotta do to get your views up. Yeah, see, that's the thing. For so many years, I held out on doing sponsorships from VPNs and CD keys and all that stuff because I thought, you know, it would reflect badly on my channel. So I gave up literally tens of thousands of dollars of sponsorship money. I don't know if I could say hundreds of thousands, but definitely tens of thousands of dollars of sponsorship money. Now looking back, I'm like, why? And honestly, viewers don't care. You run your ad, they'll either skip it or they'll watch it, and then they get on to the rest of the content. So, yeah, I'm just gonna take any sponsorships I can now, slap them in the videos, get paid my pre-roll ad money because YouTube views aren't there, so the revenue from Google AdSense sucks, and just go about my day because most people don't care, and I'm just otherwise leaving money on the table. Just know that when you start seeing some of these weird, obscure ads, like pre-roll ads, be like, huh, this is probably what Danny was talking about when he used to not take these sponsorships. I do have a sponsorship for a chair that's going to come up in this weekend's video. You guys have probably seen this chair all around the internet. A lot of people have been talking about it. But the Habata E3 ergonomic chair. So this is going to be the next pre-roll ad that's coming up in this weekend's video. But yeah, this is the most adjustable chair I have seen. This isn't an ad for it right now. But dude, this chair, you can adjust almost like everything. You can adjust the backrest. You can adjust the lumbar support. You can adjust the depth of the lumbar support. Like, this is the most adjustable chair that I have like seen. You guys have probably seen this. So just be aware, this is a more expensive chair. There's an ad coming for it, but you know what? I gotta do what I gotta do to get paid. Collab with Jason equals 1 million views. Easy. I don't know about that. ASMR channels are still doing good. Dog, take that sponsorship. Zach was the fastest drive to 1 mil I've ever seen. Was Zach or Brett, UFD Tech Brett? They both, because they jumped on the YouTube Shorts train, they took off in terms of growth like crazy. Though you can't, that's not something that's like super replicable. I'm gonna say it. That was luck. You know why? I've seen plenty of channels jump on the YouTube Shorts train and are like outputting YouTube Shorts like a lot. Not all of them have the same amount of growth. So yeah, I do understand a lot of it is the grind, but you cannot tell me that if I just all of a sudden start releasing a YouTube short every single day or multiple every single day, I'm just gonna, all my numbers are just gonna go positive and I'm gonna get to 1 million subs in like less than a year. There's no way. So yeah, the algorithm and the luck factor, I think, is definitely a big role in some of those. I don't want to take any credit away from them because they are still grinding and putting in the work, but you give 10 channels like that same formula and I pretty confidently will say that they will not see nearly the same amount of growth. Need to reach out to Staples. See, that's the thing. The companies that I want to work with, like Staples and their Hiking, they're not going to work with me. If I sent them an email, they're not even going to read it. So I'm going to I have to basically take the sponsorships that come to me. I don't know how you guys think the world works, but me reaching out to like Costco so I could try to do a sponsorship for the rotisserie chicken, or like me reaching out to Staples, or me reaching out to Thermal Right to try to, you know, do pre-roll ads for their fans and coolers because I love those and they're so cheap and affordable. That's not how the world works. You cannot just reach out to these companies who don't even have the budget or who aren't even looking for advertisement. Have you seen Thermal Right advertisements? Like Thermal Right coolers? You know, our favorite budget coolers on Amazon? You probably haven't, right? Because they don't need ads to be run. Thermal Rights sell themselves. Same with Staples chairs. So the issue is that there's so many products that I already endorse for free and talk good about without taking money that it's not like I can just reach out to them and say, hey, you want to pay me for doing what I've already been doing for years to sell this product that you don't even need advertisement for because it sells itself, you know? So it's usually the expensive products that need the extra ad reach, which goes against your channel's built on. That is true. Kind of like Ridge wallets. You know how many tech content creators, even my friends, I refuse. Maybe I'll work with Ridge if they hit me up ever again. But after their pathetic, they tried to essentially pay me like $70 a video or something. It was so sad. But the Ridge wallet, you know why they need to run ads on these things? Because they're $150 for a metal plate wallet that you can get on Amazon for $10. Why else do you think? Well, they must be selling though, because they only have advertisement money because they successfully sell these overpriced $150 wallets. That, I mean, how is this thing worth $150? I guarantee you, I can find an equivalent on Amazon for like $15 or less. There's also, I don't even see Raid Shadow Legend ads anymore. Yeah. So, okay, think about this chair. Since you asked specifically, this chair, I think they're always running like a coupon deal on it. Like, I think normally they go for $600, which are pretty, you know, pretty expensive in my opinion. But if you compare it to like a Herman Miller or something like that, then it's kind of cheap, right? It depends on how you look at like chairs. I've shown that you can buy or get free computer chairs if you look on your OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. People are giving away computer chairs. Not necessarily the best computer chairs, but they are computer chairs that you can get for $0. And then you got the chairs that I typically use, like the Dexley and the Hiking from Staples. They're like $200 or less. Then, but they don't have that much adjustability, right? Like for the armrest, they just go up and down. They can't even go forward, back, left, right, or pivot. So the thing about chairs is it's pretty interesting that like and this chair, I can't even really modify it to do the things that I want to do realistically, right? Like I'm not going to freaking take like a freaking, I don't know, saw to this and cut it and then try to install it so that it could pivot in and out move left and right. But I mean, if you're talking about a chair that has like adjustability, like forward and back and left and right with tilting, with like, you know, all this for the armrest, and you have 2 points of pivoting for the headrest so that you can get it exactly where you want. You could go, what's it called, back and forth with the headrest. Like I said, the back goes up and down so it accommodates different heights. Again, this isn't an ad. You'll see the ad in the video this coming weekend. I'm just saying that you cannot take a budget chair like this one and throw $300 worth of time and effort and materials to make it into this chair. So if you want a chair that is ultra adjustable, you know, oh, the seat also goes back and forth too. Like, I can't adjust the depth. This chair, you can adjust the depth of the seat right here, if I can do it. You see how the seat can go in and out? I can't do that with my chair. So it gets to a certain point where if you value ergonomics, if you value adjustability, and if a chair is something that you buy once every 10 years, then spending $500 on a chair is, you could consider that as reasonable, right? In my ad, I definitely talk about that this is a more premium product, because the first thing people are going to do when they see the ad is they're going to complain, oh my God, that's a $500, $600 chair. And I'm like, bro, you know how much people spend on some chairs that have even less adjustability than this? There are Herman Miller chairs out there that don't even have as many things that you can adjust to your liking for over $1,000, right? So you kind of, it depends on what lens you look at it at. You can look at it from the lens of a budget conscious person, which most of us are, but then you could also look at it from what is the competition looking like, and how often are you purchasing a new chair? If, like, I'm using the chairs that I use them for a long time. I've had this one for 6-ish years. My original Hiken I've had for almost 8 years now. So when I use my chairs, I use them for the long run. So I could see spending more money on more adjustable chairs if that's what you want. It's almost like they're different class of chairs, price and features. Yeah. So for this chair, it depends how picky and what are you looking for out of a chair? Because I've been very happy with my $140 Dexley chair. But after sitting in this, you know, and this also has one of these things which they've been putting in chairs, so you can like put your feet back and you can like adjust this armrest and stuff, and you can put it inward. So if you're just chilling here, you could do whatever you want with your feet. You can pull this in and you could sit crisscross with your, you know, the footrest out like this. And then if I want to adjust the headrest exactly how I want it, then I could do that. But yeah, it's just, what are you looking for in a chair? I think for the price, I have not seen another chair. And you guys know I love my mesh chairs. This chair is primarily mesh. It's got mesh on the seat, mesh on the lumbar for the most part. It does have these faux leather. The lumbar support kind of has like a bucket seat effect where it kind of hugs your side. But then it's mesh on the headrest and that. And for me, I mean, breathability and farting in your chair and not absorbing it, those are pretty good things. But no, I like the springiness of mesh. Like, all my mesh chairs, they look the same as the day I built them. Like, if they make it out of a high quality material, which is hard for me to say on this one, but this feels similar to the Dexley and Hiken, they keep their shape and they don't indent and sag like traditional cushions do. So is this chair worth it for $500 or $600? I would say so, if you're looking for a chair that has as much adjustability that this one has. They're not paying you for this? No free shilling? Well, I was just answering Sharon R because they specifically asked, they were wondering about it. And in my pre-roll ad, I didn't do a review on the chair. I just gave the talking points of the benefits of the chair. But I wanted to give a more in-depth answer because if people are going to spend money on this, I want them to know, like, this is why you're buying the chair, for those features. But if you're the type of person who's happy with the Staples Hiking or Dexley, then obviously you could buy 3 of those for the same price as one of these. So the weight limit on, let's see, Abada E3 Ergonomic Pro. Yeah, so the weight limit is one of the things that I think for the hiking, one of my buddies bought the hiking and it broke on them, which I don't know if it was defective or I don't know what the Hikins are rated for, but the weight max limit for this one is 330 pounds. Now, obviously, they usually give conservative estimates, right? Like, they're not going to put 330 pounds and that's all the chair can support. Because then when you put any dynamic load on it and you do, sit in a certain way, you might run into problems. There's always a safety factor. Usually it's a 1.5 in a lot of engineering. I don't know for chairs what kind of safety factor they would put on this, but I would imagine anywhere from like 1.25 to 1.5 is what you could realistically have like added weight on, on top of the rating and still be okay. But I don't know how big some of my viewers are, right? Like 330 pounds. How many people in the chat, if you're willing to, say, I don't think like being 330, actually, let me think about this. Is there a height where 330 pounds, I guess, according to most doctors, is like a healthy or safe weight to be at? Yeah, I definitely had to pause. I don't want to offend people, right? But aside from like 6 foot, near 7 foot linebackers and football players and maybe basketball players, 330 pounds. Like, how much does Shaq weigh? And Shaq is a giant. Shaq weight. So, what the Shaq weight? Shaq weighs 330 pounds. And he's kind of like, he's an athlete build. Maybe not these days, but he's like 7 foot tall. Wait, is that his actual weight? Or is that a... Let me see. Shaq weight. Did Shaq weigh 415? But what I'm saying is 330 pounds. If this thing can support Shaq for his size and weight, I think it should cover most people, right? And then you probably have a little bit of wiggle room with safety factor. If you are on a tight budget, get a Sihu chair. How much is this? 229? Yeah, so adjustability, what are we looking at here? Yeah, so, I mean, again, this is, why get this when you can get, like, the Dexley? This, depends on the adjustability. But it doesn't look like it has that much more adjustability than a Staples chair. Oh, it could pivot and move forward and back. Okay, so it has a little bit more armrest movement. But again, if you guys have gone chair shopping, you'll know that there's tons of chairs on the market. And they all do slightly different things. I took this ad because after looking at the product, looking at the price, I thought, hey, this, first of all, one, doesn't look like a blatant scam or ripoff or a complete crap tier quality product. But two, I feel like people are definitely in the markets for nicer chairs sometimes. So it's, again, some of these products, people are so willing to buy like the next, every 2 years buy a $1,000 graphics card. But when it comes to something that they sit in for hours on hours over the course of years, to them $500 is a lot of money, which it is. But one, sitting down is huge health implications. The quality of your seat in your chair and like how you adjust it and how you ergonomically sit in the long run can take a toll on your body. So spending $500 on something once every 10 years when people are willingly to open their wallets to spend $1,000 to $2,000 on a graphics card every 2 years, where are the priorities? But anyways, yeah, not an ad for this chair, just my thoughts and the preview for the ad coming up. I don't want to hear any complaints about the chair being too expensive. Chairs are like a mattress. Spending more is worth it. There's this saying, if it separates you between yourself and the ground, spend money on it. So that includes your shoes, that includes your chair, your mattress, and the tires on your car. If there's anything that separates you from the ground, spend money on it, and it will pay off in the long run. And I think that's a pretty true statement. Bro, people will complain no matter what. Yeah, that's true. Then I could just mute their comments or tell them to shut the hell up. Chairs and mattresses are serious, people. That is true. The thing is, it's really hard for mattresses, because at least with chairs, it's like smaller and cheaper. How many of you guys have ever bought a mattress, didn't like it, and took part in the, whatever day war? You know, every mattress company nowadays have like a 100 night guarantee, where if you don't like it, they will literally refund you the money and come pick it up. I don't know of anybody who's actually ever done that. It's just like people end up buying their mattress, and then regardless of how it is, they just keep it. When we bought this house, so we're coming up on 7 years in this house now, we decided, me and my wife, to buy a purple mattress. We got the purple king size of the original, because now they have Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3 purple mattresses. We went to the store to lay on the purple mattress. Like, they had them in showrooms and stuff. The mattress was, I think it was, how much was that thing? Let me take a look at my receipt. But the mattress, purple mattresses has gone up over the years. But we bought ours for, so purple king size. Let me see, purple mattress order. But I've had 0 complaints about my purple mattress. It hasn't sagged in the 7 years that or had indentations in the 7 years that me and my wife have slept in it. Though I will say, we are smaller people. You know, both of us are like under 150 pounds. So we bought ours for, it was $1,300 for the mattress, but it's been holding up well, and it's a king size silicone mattress. But it's one of those things that, like, I bought it years ago and I don't even have to think about it anymore, and I enjoy it. But unless you're like a mattress tester, how can the average person really test for hundreds of nights between different mattresses to determine what works for them? Can you really determine if a mattress is good for you in the course of like going to visit one at a showroom floor for like 20 minutes? The purple pillow is goated. I actually bought the purple pillow and returned it because I did not like it. It was not worth, the purple pillow was what, 200, 300 bucks or something like that? That was not worth it. I think the mattress was worth it. But everyone has different body types and sizes and like sleep and stuff, so yeah. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? I'm 35, turning 36 this year. So I know I look young, but I'm a few more years, I'm about to be 40 years old, and I'm going to be considered one of the, not the oldest people, because we do have older people in the chat, but we also have a lot of young people in the chat. I feel like once you're in your 40s, you're kind of considered an old guy. So I'm 4 years from that. Amazon memory foam here, $280-ish. Yeah, so same thing too. Some people's bodies are also not as sensitive, I guess. Like, I could probably sit in this Staples chair, this sub $200 Staples chair, for 10 years and not, for like the rest of my life actually, not have any problems. But it doesn't have as much adjustability. The other chair, I will say, is more comfortable because I can tune it exactly how I want. But this is not a bad alternative. Same thing with mattresses, probably. there are people who get by their whole lives sleeping on, a couple $100 mattresses, and there are some people who spend for, I don't know how much Tempur-Pedics cost, but mattresses can get $2,000-$3,000. So there's a wide range, but it's one of those things where you need to decide what's important to you and how often are you willing to make that investment. Because if it's a mattress that's gonna last you 10, 15 years, then $1,000 at the end of the day is like averages out to like less than $100 a year. More free shillings, stop, invoice them. Yeah, my dad with hip implants won't ride it. Oh wait, what are you talking about here, Mike? A cart, Toyo SUV on a 2000F body because Nitro Pilot Sport. We gotta talk about that. So this is gonna be a fun topic. We gotta save it for. We bought an EV. We've actually had an EV for over a month now. We ended up buying an EV. I'm not gonna give any details about it, but remember we were talking about like a month or two ago, and we've talked about EVs in the streams for years now because I've been eyeing EVs. We ended up buying an EV, and it's been awesome. I don't want to give any clues as to what we got because we got to play the guessing game based on my test drives and me going to visit all the dealerships. I basically saw every EV that was sub $50,000 in the dealership and test drove and sat in them and stuff. And then we decided on the final one. But that's for another stream. Because we're speaking of, things that you invest money into. So we got an EV, we got a level 2 charger. Melissa's dad's an electrician, so we got the NEMA 1450 charger installed. So we've got level 2 charging at home. Our car is topped off every single day now. It is amazing just having a car from the last year or two. We got a 2025 year EV, but just having a car that is not 10 plus years old and having one that's topped off, having one, actually I can't review any more information because otherwise you're going to guess the car that I got or that we got. It was a purchase me and Melissa bought together. But yeah, why are hybrids not more popular? Because one, you still have to put gas in them. You still got to do oil checks. Your brakes, you have to do more brake maintenance because you're riding your brakes and not regenerative braking as much as you are in an EV. Even if I have to go to the gas station less frequently, having to go to the gas station is just something that, like, in my lifetime, it's probably gonna go away. Eventually, most people are gonna be in EVs, and I think gas stations are gonna be converted to superchargers, or if hydrogen never takes off, then maybe hydrogen fuel centers, but that's not even a thing that's even remotely seems feasible at the moment. But yeah, I just hate the fact that hybrids cost the same amount of money for the same quality of car, and I still have to worry about pumping my gas, doing oil maintenance and all that crap, when an EV is just like, it's not a monolithic engine, but the engine takes care of so much of the work. And most of these cars have over 100,000 10-year warranties on the engine itself. So you don't really have to worry about that being a major thing. Plus, there are plenty of EVs out there. With Tesla being around for so long, there are Teslas that are easily into their 100 plus 200,000 of miles. So for me, that's like 20 years of driving. We don't drive more than 10,000 miles per year. So, like, the EV that we bought as a long-term investment, welcome, brother, indeed. I'm really excited to talk about this, though, because there's a lot of controversial opinions, especially with Elon Musk and everything in the EV market. But looking through, like, all the different EV cars, I'm excited to have a stream where we just talk about it, get people's opinions, and then I reveal what we ended up getting. Chevy Volt. So So we needed a car that was like a crossover SUV type size. So that limits down your choices. There's a lot of competition. Like everybody has one. Kia has one, Hyundai has one, Volkswagen, Tesla, Honda has their Prologue, Toyota has their BZ4X, which yeah, like everybody has like a kind of SUV-ish, like a compact SUV size for around 50,000 or less, depending on tax incentives. So there's plenty to choose from, but we ended up choosing one and we're liking it a lot. So no more Yaris. So here's the thing. The car, the EV that we got is a me and Melissa's car. It's not my car. It's not her car. We both put money in together, even though we still keep our finances separate, even though it's not really separate because we still pay all the bills together. It just keeps us, what's it called? It keeps both of us kind of in check in terms of contributing equally, right? But so we both put money towards the ar. So I'm still going to be driving the Yaris around. I still drive the Yaris around. We mostly take the EV when we're both driving together. But whenever I drive by myself, I still got to drive the Yaris too, so that the battery doesn't die. I can't just 100% go over to the EV. So still have the Yaris, still going to be taking it to LAN parties and stuff like that. But the EV for like a family car is definitely, it's been so nice. Every time I have to get back into the Yaris, I get a little sad because it is slow as hell. Because every EV, because of the electric motor, even the worst EV is still pretty peppy and fast. But going back into the Yaris, and like everything just feels slow motion compared to being in an EV, if that makes sense. I can't believe we haven't talked about this. I'm so hurt. I didn't talk to you specifically because you are an EV owner, Jason. But we'll have the stream and it'll be fun. You will regret selling the Yaris. I will not sell the Yaris. No. So it's funny. The dealership we ended up picking up the EV at, the car salesman person looked at my Yaris and said, "Is that a Toyota Yaris? Oh my god, I love that car. I used to have one." And then they asked me, was I interested in trading it in? And I was like, no. How much do you think a 2009 beat up, rebuilt title Toyota Yaris? I don't even want to imagine what they would offer for that. If I had to guess, they wouldn't even offer me $1,000. I didn't even entertain them. It's got 150,000 miles, but it is a rebuilt title. It's got freaking dent on the side. It'll drive for many more miles. Like, I could probably take the Yaris easily, the way I maintain it, to like 300,000 miles. But a dealership is probably not going to offer me anything. But I'm not even joking when I say this, guys. I get so many comments on my Toyota Yaris. Over the years, I've slowly come to realize that the Yaris is like, it has a cult following. First of all, there's plenty of you guys in the chat who love my Yaris. I get so many comments on my Yaris anytime people see it in my Craigslist ride-along videos or the LAN party videos. But just out in the wild, like, I've had random strangers make comments on my Toyota Yaris, which is like one of the most economical Toyota cars. They don't even sell them in the US anymore, unfortunately. They still sell it in like Japan and Europe because, you know, they're smart and they like fuel efficient cars. But in the US, I don't know what the hell is wrong with people that the Yaris had to die. But yeah, I don't plan to get rid of the Yaris. If anything, I plan to keep it for as long as until my kids grow up and are able to drive and they get the Yaris. Your Yaris will 100% last way longer than your EV. We'll have to see. Yaris is the Nob identity, or brand identity. Yeah, I can't sell it. It is a part of me. If anything, it's gonna be a hand-me-down in my own family. My sister had one and it's zippy. You can't kill a Toyota. That is true. I have a Tesla and thinking about buying another Yaris. It's a real road trip car. Dude. Yeah, the Yaris I love. I kind of want to get it kind of fixed up though, because that dent has been an eyesore for years. Like, if I could get it painted for like $1,000 or less and the dents pulled out, I might consider doing that. Did anyone in the chat, do you do body work, and would you like to trade computer services for car services? Because I don't want to spend like $3,000-4,000 fixing and painting my Yaris when obviously it's worth way less than that. I'm not into the whole car wrapping thing. I guess with the Yaris, I wouldn't even care, but I need to pull out and smooth the dents. And that's not something I can do. Maybe I can get someone to do it, and then wrapping, wrapping isn't cheap either. Wrapping is still like $600, $700, $800 if you want to use a good quality wrap. So the thing that I found about wraps though, which I'm glad you guys are still sticking around as we go well over 3 hours worth of stream. But this is just a talking stream, apparently. We're just hanging out. One second. I think the sous vide is freaking out because the water is low. Give me 1 second. No, we're good. I think it's just setting a reminder after 2 hours because it wants me to cook that steak, which I will after we get down to talking about this. But the thing about vinyl wrapping is that because it's subject to the sun and UV and stuff like that, you have to rewrap every, I don't know, 5 to 7 years, I think is what I was reading. Otherwise, if you don't and you let that wrap sit on for long enough, it's not about the damage that it gets over time and the nicks and stuff. The UV does a number on the adhesive and on the wrap itself. So if you went to remove it after 10 years because you were lazy like I am versus paint, your vinyl wrap is gonna come off in like thousands of pieces. It'll just like start chipping and breaking apart, making it a pain in the ass to remove. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't want to do a vinyl wrap, even though it is like the cheapest alternative to painting. Cheaper to buy. It's not just the door, unfortunately. So it's also the rear quarter panel. So 2-door. So my Yaris, the dent that it has, here we go. So on the side of it, it's like this entire region, and it goes to the rear quarter panel, which you're not replacing that. You have to pull that. You could replace the door, you're right. I don't know, but I feel like if I could find someone who does like body work, like as a hobby or in their spare time in their garage or backyard, I'm not talking about going to like an auto repair shop, which is like taking your PC to a mom and pop shop and getting potentially ripped off. I'm talking about hobbyist level repairs. And if I could exchange my computer knowledge and know-how for their car knowledge and know-how, I would love to get that dent pulled out and fixed. Crap paint job won't last. Yeah, that's the only I mean, my car has the original paint job in it, and it's 16 years old now. It is showing signs of chips, and some of those chips are rusting, so yeah, we'll see. I don't know what to do about it, because it's like a money sink. That's the only thing about cars. Cars, aside from getting you from point A to point B, everything is a money sink for it. And it depreciates as soon as you drive it off the lot. So, me being a cheap budget conscious person, like, the car works. It's all aesthetics. So I don't know if I want to spend money on that. Carbon wraps, so stupid. Yeah, I don't understand. Why would you want to wrap your car with carbon fiber? The point of carbon fiber is it's supposed to be like a lighter weight alternative to, you know, traditional metals for cars. But then if you do a carbon fiber wrap, it's just fake. Like, that's just straight up fake. Like, why even try to go for a carbon fiber aesthetic? I don't know. If you have carbon fiber wraps out there, I don't want to judge too badly, but I gotta judge a little bit. The only reason to do carbon fiber wrap is if color matching is difficult and you're not wrapping everything. Like, let's just say only the hood of your car has issues. But do you really want to drive around with a carbon fiber wrapped hood only on a car with everything else in normal color? I don't know. I guess who cares at the end of the day? It's for you, right? If it makes you happy, who cares what I think? I'm just an onlooker to your car. Nah, dog, judge them. Body stiffening. Plus wraps only, yeah, wraps don't last as, they look nice for a short, like a limited amount of time. And then they bubble, they start to peel up, the corners lift or whatever, and then eventually the sun destroys them. So, paintless dent repair might be cheaper depending on the dent. Nah, this was a pretty big dent. I made a big oopsie when I put the dent into the car. It was a self-inflicted dent. No other cars were a casualty, just a big metal pole. Not a big metal pole, one of those like short metal poles rather. I took the turnout too soon, leaving a parking spot that had a pole that was like, you know, in the A corner or whatever you call that, the A pillar. It wasn't in my field of view and I forgot it was there. And that's how I got the dent. Easy integration, which is just like PCs. If you have one, if you have to have the door painted, yeah. Yep, there's pick and pull in Lynnwood. They have nice salvage stuff. I haven't been there for stuff for my. I have family that goes there all the time, but I haven't had to pull anything for my Yaris. Yeah, I don't know about the, because even if I fix the door, we gotta fix the rear quarter panel anyways. Because if this was a 4-door, it might be easier because I could just replace 2 doors. I wish my Yaris was a 4-door. As much as I love my Toyota Yaris, if I could have a 4-door so that when I have passengers in it, they don't have to go through the front and pull my seat forward. My goodness. If I had a 4-door Yaris, but I couldn't find them when I was shopping for cars back in 2012 or whatever. Yeah, 4-door Yaris was like my... It's weird. People have these different dream cars like a Porsche, a Ferrari, or a Lamborghini and stuff like that. No joke. The 4-door Yaris was my dream car for a long time. Nowadays, with me now being an EV car owner, I'm convinced EV is the way of the future. I'm sorry. I know the batteries are hard to mine for, and we're gonna deplete all the mines and stuff like that. Hopefully, there's a new battery tech or hydrogen can come along or something. But to curb off the currently, the traditional ICE or internal combustion engine vehicles, I think EVs are the next step. I mean, they've been the next step since Tesla popularized making like consumer level, like mass adopted EVs, right? That and the Nissan Leaf, I guess. But they've been around for like over a decade now. So yeah, we are well into the EV, I guess, transition point, and I don't see it changing from this to any other tech for a long time to come. At least in my lifetime. Maybe hydrogen if we could ever get there. But yeah, it's either going to be hybrids or EVs in the near, the coming future. ICE vehicles, I mean, I'm just looking at all the consumer reports and stuff like that. Sales are just down across the board on everything as people adopt hybrid and EVs. And we'll revisit the hydrogen conversation in a decade, maybe. See how that's looking. We do not have the power grid to do EV mainstream. Well, before gas stations were as prevalent as they are now, before all the roads were constructed, were we really ready for, for just combustion engines in general? No, this is something that you slowly do over time as it gets more mass adopted. The good thing about EVs is that, I mean, adoption rate seems to be pretty fast right now, but people are still buying ICE cars. So it's not like everyone has 100% changed over to the EV side of things. So there's time to update infrastructure to make up for it. Yeah, and I don't know, in terms of renewable energies and resources and stuff like that, to be able to support it, that's also something we need to, one, get better about in terms of like, making breakthroughs in technology and then implementing it for the masses. This isn't something that is just gonna happen overnight or even over the next 5 or 10 years. This is the long play, right? All I know is that we charge up every single night with our level 2 charger. I don't want to say, but you get anywhere from 30 to 50 miles of range. There are some that go up to 60 per hour. But if you think about overnight charging over the course of 7 to 10 hours, that's easily the full range of whatever car you're going to get. So, yeah. EVs are the future. Nobody has a gas toaster on hair dryer in their house or a hair dryer in their house. It's all mindset. It is a mindset. I think the thing about EVs to be more mass adopted is, well, it's kind of hard to have an EV if you don't own your own house, because then you have to supercharge or use public chargers, and charging at those are not worth it. You're not far off from gas prices when you're using like a Tesla supercharger or whatever the heck. When you're charging at home though, then you're charging, like, I think who was it, Robert Fixit or someone quoted their friend on a full tank for an EV. It cost them the equivalent of $10 compared to like $40 at a gas station, right? So yeah, so EVs, I think I would not get an EV if we didn't own a home. If we lived in an apartment or a townhome and we could not install a charger, a level 2 charger, I would not have gotten an EV. So that kind of eliminates younger adults who aren't homeowners, I guess, and people who are renting from apartments, studio apartments, stuff like that. And also EV prices. You could get Nissan Leafs for pretty cheap. I think in the used market, they're like 15,000 or less. And in the used market in general, EVs, you can easily find them for like 25K or less. So I think the biggest thing for a lot of people is, yeah, I guess the charging aspect. Because let's be real, I would not want to also go to whatever supercharger or public charger and sit for 30 to 40 minutes supercharging. That is super fast compared to at home charging, but still, compared to going to the gas station to like fill up in 4 minutes, there's definitely that downside. So that's kind of a good thing in keeping the EVs from, I guess, the market from growing so large that we can't sustain it with like our current grid, right? So, yeah. EV sales are down. I know Teslas are down because Elon doing his Hitler salute and things like that. I think EV sales are up for everything but Tesla. I've been seeing, ever since getting an EV, I've joined all the EV subreddits and all that stuff. Yeah, Tesla is down. Tesla's up in the US. It's down across the board in Europe and Europe and Asian markets. Ford is up because their Mach E is, you know, doing really good. The like Ioniq 5 is doing really well too. ID4 recently had issues that they recalled almost all the cars. Kia's got their Niro and their EV6. Yeah, so it's hard to say. There's so many EVs in the market now that I think depending on what reports you read, you might see that they're up or down. But yeah. With an EV, your garage will supply all the power it needs. What do you mean by that? If you mean your garage will supply all the power it needs. Ding, 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 owning your own house. Yes. Or having an apartment where you have a garage that you can install an EV charger, level 2 charger. Yeah. When I visit my mom, I charge with 110 volt and get... Yep. So before we got our level 2 charger, because we got the EV, it worked out to be a really good deal and it came faster than we expected. We couldn't get the NEMA 1450 charger installed until like a couple of weeks after we had our EV. So the first 2 weeks of owning it, we just used a level 1 charger and it did charge at 3 to 4 miles an hour, which means overnight, over 10 hours, it only charged 40 miles. But we don't drive a ton these days, so that was fine. But level 2 versus level 1, I mean, you're talking about 10x difference easily, 10 to 15 depending on, you know, what you have. Extended range EVs with a small gas generator bump the range up to 450 will make the market more open. So yeah, you're talking kind of like a, so, you know, plug-in hybrids like the RAV4 Prime that has a 40 mile EV battery and then the rest is gas, but you're talking about the inversion of that, right? Where it's like a 300 plus mile EV battery with, let's say, and you're saying maybe a gas portion of it that can get you another 1 to 200 miles. My issue is that I don't know, like, I don't even know what the RAV4 Prime engine looks like, but isn't the, my issue is the maintenance and the complexity of mixing two engines under the hood versus having just one or the other. Like, the fact, so it'll be kind of, I guess, like a hybrid, not really, because the, like, Priuses and stuff, they don't have a dedicated battery that can run the engine, right? Are they full hybrid, or do they have like a small all electric portion of the battery? I guess, yeah, I don't know how the Priuses and hybrids work, because I thought Priuses, some hybrids, they do operate with the engine off in a sense, but usually that portion seems to be very small. Never will own a hybrid. Only good for city driving. Yeah, hybrids weren't even like... I have never, ever, when I have been in the car market, looked for a hybrid. It's always been gas up until recently, and then full EV. My main goal was no more gas. No more making trips to the gas station at all. And the lifestyle that my wife and I have, the biggest complaint I see is people have with EVs are the range. To them, 300 miles or 250 miles is not enough because they want to take road trips or they drive often enough where they're maxing out on the range of their car. Whereas the most we normally drive, even if we go far, like if I go to Tacoma, that's like 80, I'll probably put 80 miles on an EV engine, even though the distance is only 60 miles, but once you have the heat cranking and you're sitting in traffic, etc., the ratings for EVs aren't as good as what the published ratings are, right? So to go 60 miles, you probably actually drain 80 to 90 miles on your car. I do those trips all the time in a single day, back and forth. That still gets nowhere near the range of 250 to 350 miles that a lot of these EVs have. So the people who think they're going on all these road trips year round, I mean, yeah, I guess an EV isn't for you, but also I guess if you trade in your ICE car, you're screwed, but then just rent a car or something. I don't know. Like, you do 95% of your driving less than 300 miles in a given day or something. Like, don't plan your car that you're going to have for the next 20 years for the 5% of the driving that you might be doing, you know? There's minimal maintenance because it's not running a bunch of external components like drivetrain, transmission, etc. Yeah, it's just a modern generator with the sole purpose of charging the battery pack. You're talking about the plug-in hybrid EVs and stuff, right? Or the plug-in hybrids and hybrids. You're not talking about full EVs. That's the main thing I like about the EVs. But I thought the hybrids, you're saying they don't have transmissions and drivetrains? I'm not read up well enough on hybrids. How do you avoid long lines in EV charge stations? You charge on off hours. You do it at nighttime. You do it in the middle of the night. You do it really early in the morning before people get there. Or, like in my town, there's always openings, even at peak times, at the Tesla chargers. I think because I live in Seattle, right? Or near Seattle, Washington State. The infrastructure you have... So I understand Smash TV Network's comment about, like, we don't have the grid or infrastructure set up. If you live in, like, the middle of the country where maybe they're not as, like, progressive or technologically, like, forward, and they're not, they didn't spend the last 15 years installing, Tesla chargers at every corner, I could imagine supercharging there and adopting EVs sucking if you have to publicly charge. Because, yeah, there's no way there's enough chargers. But around me... I feel like if you live in a coastal state, right? So it's anywhere from east to west coast, and maybe even some larger states like Texas and stuff in the middle of the country, places where they know there's tons of people and they just put the infrastructure in, there's enough chargers to go around. Like, every time I go to the Fred Meyers or the Bartels or, you know, wherever that has Tesla superchargers, there's always open chargers. It could be at the middle of the night. It could be in the middle of the day. It could be right after work rush hour. I always see chargers open. So definitely that's something you have to consider if you're going to go over to EV and you don't have at-home charging. But even with the like overabundance of public charging available to me, I still wouldn't have bought an EV if we didn't own a home where I could charge in my garage. So, yeah. China, yes. I wish Chinese companies brought their EVs over to the US market because they look sweet. It's just the way, and I don't know if EVs were affected by this, but cars cost the way that they do in America, and we have the dumbass system that we have where you look at sticker pricing versus inventory pricing versus dealership pricing, all that stuff. I was reading that that was all done by Mercedes. I don't remember in what year, but the reason car buying sucks so much in America, and it must extend to EVs too, because lots of EVs are sold in dealerships as if you would any other car, and where you have to go through the negotiating process and they won't give you the best price until you haggle down and trade in your cars, all that stuff. It's because of what the lobbying that Mercedes did back however many years ago, and it's still in effect today. But yeah, Trump's already putting tariffs on EVs, or is planning to put in tariffs on EVs. Again, I'm reading so much EV news and stuff because I'm now an EV owner. But he's planning on putting tariffs on, even if it's an American-made vehicle, like the Ford Mach-E will be hit by the tariffs because they're not built in the US, or they're using components and batteries and stuff not based in the US. So I can even imagine trying to get other Chinese like brands of cars over to the US EVs because of the competition that we already have among the American and US based brands. You think they're gonna let China with their cheaper, better cars just come over here and take over? No way, man. Yeah, so for people who live in other countries where it's not a pain in the ass to get an import or a car imported over, it's sure you have more options, but in the States, you've got like just the major manufacturers that we have and you're stuck with it. So even Chinese people in China don't want Chinese cars. They only buy them if they can afford the imports. You pass. So from what I was reading, it seems like they had some pretty advanced cars. Like if you look at the tech side of things, Tesla is probably the most advanced because they've been ahead of the game. It seems like their stuff was like pretty comparable to Tesla. And if you're a Tesla hater because of Elon and everything, it feels like the Chinese EVs would be a good alternative. But then again, there's so limited information about them, at least from English reviewers, just because that's just not what we have available to us. So yeah, haggling stuff is annoying for sure. Yeah, the EVs in China are poorly built. I don't know, man. I'm still new to learning about the EVs from China, but everything that I've been seeing, you know, from just the general EV forums and subreddits and stuff, people have high expectations for them to overtake Tesla. I want a BYD car so bad, the Xiaomi SU7. Yeah, a lot of these cars, from what I've seen, look sick, but obviously I've never sat in them and test driven them, and I don't know the safety. Like, I feel like when it comes to safety standards, even though we've had a lot of plane crashes recently, I feel like safety standards in the US are among some of the higher in the rest of the world when it comes to just anything transportation related. Sure, we've got problems and things crashing and breaking down left and right and stuff, but everybody has that as well. But I think our safety standards are pretty high. Google BYD Fire. I mean, you could Google Tesla Fires, and Teslas are the top selling EVs in the US. So I guess it just, you could make any car look bad based on the worst scenario that has happened to them. But I will look more into BYD and some of the Chinese brands, obviously. It's not like I'm ever going to buy one because they're not going to be readily available in the US market. Maybe not until after 20 or 25 years, whatever the import rule is, to import a car to the US, though I don't know if that applies to EVs. But yeah, I'm set, and I'm really excited now. I mean, we've been talking for an extra hour and a half about EVs, and you guys are still sticking around and hanging out. So it seems people are pretty excited about the topic, and yeah, I am very excited to play the guessing game as for you guys to see what you guys guessed I got. There's always something. The fastest charging phone in the world is from a Chinese company too, but that doesn't mean it's good. They do stuff that makes no sense but sounds cool in the moment. Yeah, I mean, I'm just doing the research on them now because now that I bought an EV, or we bought an EV, I'm kind of doing more research on everything else to try to see if I'm going to have buyer's remorse. It's kind of like when you buy something, but then you still continue to look up videos and researching it because you want to cement to yourself and convince yourself you made the best possible purchase that you could make. I'm still following all the other EV subreddits that I didn't end up buying because I want to still read up on user experience and be like, oh yes, I'm so glad I did not buy that one and I bought the one that I bought, things like that. So yes, BYD is in Mexico and I live as close to the border. I'll check them out. Definitely check them out. Yeah, it kind of is weird. Like, what's Canada's EV market looking like? Like, what's available to Canadians? Because both Mexico, you know, we share borders with Mexico and Canada. But in terms of if you want to look at like what country is closer to being like America, probably Canada, but they don't have all the different import restrictions and tariffs and stuff that we got going on at the moment. That's crazy. So yeah. Dang, I just bought my 4090 1.5 years ago. Should I have waited for the 5090s? Like, yeah, like people buying 5090s. Look up EREVs. It's an EV that gets 300 miles by itself. Gas generator recharges the battery pack another 150 miles. So it's an EV with a range of 100 or 500 miles because of the range extender. I mean, am I going to be an EV car channel soon? Are we just going to what's it called? Rebrand everything? EREV. Okay. Extended range electric vehicles. Okay, so this is just a class of vehicles. What are the actual cars that the bridge? Okay, but what are some of the brands and models that exist? Bro, imagine a world where Nobe transforms to more than just PCs and the channel explodes. I know, right? If I just do budget everything, budget generic brand of eggs, food reviews, yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be too much to encompass, though. The funny thing is, so I follow this guy. It's like one of my favorite things to watch. So this guy's named Freaking Reviews. He literally reviews any random thing. Temu products. He does a lot of 1 year returns to his products. This $89 bottle that adds this is like a carbonated. Remember those carbonated things? But except in a bottle, not a machine you have to have on your counter. This dude, popcorn tin. Look at this dude. He's reviewing popcorn buckets, or not popcorn buckets, but stovetop popcorn poppers. 133,000. I love this guy's channel. This is my role model in terms of like a review channel. Literally reviewing any Eggo, alcoholic waffles, automatic pasta makers. This guy, if you guys have not seen this channel, Freaking Reviews, one of my favorite YouTube channels. But I can just put anything on by him and just put it on in the background and just learn about a new product on any given day. A power random food mixer thing. Jellyfish humidifier. Like, this guy is killing it on YouTube. He's like my role model. Taco Bell chicken nuggets. Could you imagine just me doing a review on the most random food thing that just came out and it doing like well? Yeah. But anyways, we're almost 4 hours into stream somehow. this was a really fun stream. We talked about almost everything. We started off talking about the PC tech stuff, but I'm glad you guys are down to stick around. We still have like over 80 people here just hanging out talking about random stuff. So that guy that showed to the max, he reviewed. No, this guy is not a show. He buys all his stuff. He just, if you're talking about someone else, Freaking Reviews, he states in the videos, he buys every single thing. He does not get sent anything to be reviewed. But if you're talking about somebody else, then yeah. But no, this guy, he buys everything. He shows the receipts. He shows the invoices plenty of times. Yeah. Oh, he would talk about any. I don't know. He talks his reviews. A lot of the times, he points out the negatives of stuff. I would consider someone a shill, someone who takes money or will review something and only say good things about it. I like his reviews because so many of the products, he will even point, he's like Gamer's Nexus level of pointing out things that you probably won't even care about, but because he finds it might be negative, he'll still point it out. So yeah, I just love learning about random products that he reviews. That would be amazing to be able to do a channel like that. Nope, after dark, sexy music starts playing. Yeah, chickens are the best investment right now, for real. I don't know if I could tend to chickens every day though. Clean up their bedding, their crap, just to get some eggs. I think eggs, when you can get them at the store, are not like Costco has decent price eggs. It's $10 for 2 dozen because they sell them in 24 packs, which works out to $5 a dozen, which is more expensive than they were in the past, but it's still like, you know, for egg eaters like myself and Melissa, we could still make that work. But I was not happy about $7 per dozen. Those were not prices I liked. Chickens are nasty and not worth the effort. Yeah, plus it's winter time. Like, you gotta be mindful of keeping them warm and alive. We got raccoons, man. Some of the raccoons that we catch on our security cameras, they are fat and they roll around in like packs. We got some like fat and skinny ones rolling around in like 3 or 4 of them at a time across my lawn and in my backyard. They're scavenging, looking for food. I don't know what they would do to chickens. $12.50 per dozen eggs there? That's crazy. At least he reviews stuff people could actually afford. He must make bank on Amazon. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The thing about this channel is you can Amazon affiliate everything. And you can literally never run out of stuff. The tech scene sometimes gets slow when there's not new releases. You can always revisit older tech. But in terms of new products coming out, it's always easy to be excited about new random stuff you've never heard about. So. Alright. I bet Dawn has been gone for a while, so I'm going to have to hit him up over the email to pay him. Thanks again to him for sending the 3060 Ti. We'll see if I can get that into a build. 3060 Ti's are still very relevant graphics cards. But yeah, look forward to this build video. It's an interesting build video because I had the parts on hand already. So I'm going to have to look to eBay for the prices, like average sold prices. So that's how I'm going to have to come up. But it's the equivalent of like a $200-ish system. So those are always fun to do. Just because, yeah, people think they need $1,000 to have fun. But I was enjoying Cyberpunk the hell out of it on an RX 480 and an i6 6600K. I actually ended up playing for longer than my benchmark because I was just like enjoying it. Dang, we've got the 5070 coming up in 2 weeks. I wonder if we could do the EV stream next week. I don't know if there's any, but no, we gotta revisit the stocking situation. Yeah, EV stream is gonna have to be pushed out for a bit just because we've got so many releases coming up soon. And I want to dedicate an entire stream to talking about the EVs. So I'll need to figure out, or maybe we do a second stream throughout the week to do that. Bye, everyone. Hope you all have a good rest of your day or evening. Have a good rest of your week and have a good weekend coming up. Be on the lookout for the new video. I need to talk to some people about YouTube Shorts editing. So, you guys have a good one, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye. EV Mondays. That could be something.